Hello, everybody. Thank you to all the parents who have joined in. We are here. We are starting in just 1 minute. Give us just 1 minute. We're waiting for a few more parents to join us. But welcome. Hello, everybody. Thank you to all the parents who have joined in. We are here. We are starting in just 1 minute. Give us just 1 minute. I need to mute myself on YouTube, I think. Okay. Is this better now, everybody? Team, just let me know how the audio turns out to be.
Yeah, now it is better.
For the parents, I hope we don't have an echo. So I'm Dr. Shivani Pandit. I'm very happy to welcome all of you to Saamarthya's signature program, Swayam Parent Empowerment Series in collaboration with SNIC Rehab Foundation. I'm going to request one of the team members to just go ahead and record this session on the cloud as well. So we are going to record our session and we are on YouTube as well. I'm Dr. Shivani Pandit. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a special educator and founder of Saamarthya Foundation. We have been running Saamarthya Foundation for the past several years, providing virtual intervention services. And we recently have opened our first family resource center in Baner, Pune. You'll get to hear a little bit more about Saamarthya at the end of the presentation, so stay for that. Today, we have our session facilitator, Ms. Riddhi Dedia, who's our director of programs at Saamarthya. Riddhi, wave to everybody.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Also very excited to introduce my entire team. We have Dora De Silva, who's our psychologist and program manager at Saamarthya. We have Kanchi Goswami, who's our program manager and occupational therapist at Saamarthya. We also have Sanika Kelkar, who's our social media manager. We have all these wonderful team members here, including Bhavna Pandey, who's our special educator and program manager here at Saamarthya. And without much ado, I'm going to introduce quickly our today's speakers, Ms.Jaspreet Kaur and Mr. Joshua Anthony, who are with the Amrit Masonic Special School at Noida. And we are so grateful to you, Jaspreet, for being here, for doing this session for our families, our parents, and really supporting their learning needs as it relates to NIOS. So, of course, today's session is going to be on NIOS OBE, and next week, Jaspreet will be back to deliver a session on NIOS for senior and secondary senior students. That will be next week. And, we always start our sessions by a welcome, from SNIC Rehab Foundation, Ms. Harshali Kharche, who's the founder director of SNIC Rehab. Many of you obviously know her. For those of you who don't know her, she's an incredible parent advocate and a partner for Saamarthya. Today, she's not doing well, so I'm going to be introducing SNIC Rehab Foundation just a little bit. SNIC Rehab Foundation is a non-profit organization based in Nagpur, India, and they work on ensuring, how they can best empower parents of children with special needs by creating many different programs. And their mission is very much similar, like Saamarthya's, is to ensure that parents get the best kinds of resources that are possible and available to them. And we offer all these different sessions in collaboration with SNIC to really make sure that parents are empowered. Again, that's kind of our motto, is to make sure, and SNIC's motto is to make sure that parents are able to, get resolutions to the many challenges that they face with their children. There are many different programs that SNIC conducts, including awareness programs, parent empowerment programs. They have a financial advisory for parents, advocacy rights of parents, and they provide a lot of community support for the mental health needs of the parents. And since Harshali is not here, I'm just sharing a little bit about their organization, but please feel free to get in touch with her to learn more about SNIC Rehab Foundation. They're doing incredible work for parents, as many of you know. We are all part of the same community, I feel. But while she's not here, I still want to really thank her for her partnership with Saamarthya and all that she does every single time for every single one of our programs, so that we can reach out to the maximum number of parents. So thank you, Harshali. She'll be back here next week. So without taking too much time, we are going to jump right into today's session on NIOS OBE with Ms. Jaspreet Kaur. Again, Jaspreet, thank you so very much for being here. It's honestly an honor to have you present this incredible kind of knowledge to our parent community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful. बहुत बार बोल चुके हो. Trust me, it's an honor. Because, I've seen firsthand what Harshali does. And I've spoken to you enough times to know that, you're probably going above and beyond her also. I've already been, I think, a couple of times earlier also on SNIC webinars, and the participation was incredible. The participants were, already they've done their homework. It was a pleasure being here earlier 2 times, and just as much of an honor being here today also.
Yes, wonderful. So you can take it on from here to all the participants. Of course, feel free to text your questions and concerns in the chat box. All the questions that you had submitted to us via the registration forms, we have already shared it with Jaspreet, so she will cover them. But if anything comes up, we have our team here, starting with Riddhi and others who will manage the chat box. Any questions you have, we'll make sure that we will get those addressed. Go ahead, Jaspreet. You can share your screen now.
We are also on YouTube Live. So in case if you all drop out from here, please feel free. We'll share the link right away on the group. Feel free to join in through YouTube as well. Thank you so much. Go on, Ms.Jaspreet.
Okay, so I think before we do a presentation, we start the presentation. A little background. So what is NIOS? If I was to actually start with the basic question, what is NIOS? A National Institute of Open Schooling. Naam kya hai? Okay, Shivani, just one thing. Can it be a mix of English and Hindi? Would you like it to be?
Sure. I think it can be a mix of English and Hindi. And to all the participants, if she says something in Hindi, you want it to be translated, please just chat, type in the chat. And of course, Jaspreet will sort of go back and forth. We want to make sure it's as accessible to everybody as possible. Yeah.
Okay. So, we all know it's National Institute of Open Schooling and all, but hai kya? So basically in India, we have 3 national boards. At school level, they're just 3 boards: CBSE, ICSE, and NIOS. So this basic question that everybody has, how legit is it? How relevant is it? That answers your question. Government of India at school level has introduced just 3 boards: CBSE, ICSE, and NIOS. So NIOS, it's quite relevant. It's the national board at school level. It's as legit as CBSE is. Actually, initially, NIS was started as a small experiment under CBSE with a very specific purpose in mind. We need not go there. But now it is a parallel board, but as acceptable throughout India. That's one of the basic questions, that's always asked me. As acceptable throughout India and throughout the world. We are having a small controversy with Tamil Nadu government, since recently. Probably a few of you are aware. But above and beyond that, which is also being sorted, NIS is a national board at school level. The only difference from CBSE is that it is a distance education board. That's it. Otherwise, it's a national board. That I think is the most important and the basis of NIOS. I think, okay, let me start the presentation and then I'll keep going back and forth. Okay. So guys, this is me, and I'm the principal of a charitable school for special needs children in Noida. And Noida also is the place where you have the NIS head office, as well as the Northern Regional Center. So that is one reason that makes it very easy for me to help people across India, because I'm able to take their problems to the head office, which is only about 11 kilometers away from our school. This is us. What is NIOS? National Institute of Open Schooling, government recognized distance education board. And that I think is very, very important here. For CBSE, you go to a regular school where you have a principal, you have a staff, you have a history teacher, an English teacher. All the curriculum and all the requirements of the CBSE board are taken care of by the school. When we were studying, when we were younger and we went to a CBSE school, our parents did not constantly have to be on their toes. Next, kya karna hai? Agle saal kya hoga? The school and the staff took care of all of that, because it was a physical school. It's a physical board. All the challenges or all the differences that you will face with NIS, you will hear me talk about them, are primarily because it is a distance education board. That's the only difference. Now, the second part here, I've made a very small presentation. And a lot of people have actually heard a lot about NIOS. I'd like to tackle the areas that are causing the maximum confusion. This, trust me, also is a bit of a confusing area. We all know that NIOS offers certification. NIOS की तरफ से certificate सिर्फ 5 classes का मिलता है. Level A, Level B, Level C, 10th and 12th. The misinformation here is that at Level A, okay, let me try and start using my pen. So, at Level A, we say, please note carefully, it says 1 to 3. More often than not, जो आपने देखा होगा वो होगा Level A के सामने 3rd लिखा होता है. NIOS is not saying that do not study 1st and 2nd. Study 3rd and give the exam. What they're saying is study from 1st to 12th. But because it is a distance education board, anybody opting for a distance education board will be somebody who's not able to go regularly to school. कुछ ना कुछ इनकी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम होगा या डिफरेंस होगा जिसकी वजह से वो स्कूल रोज नहीं जा सकते होंगे. NIOS is saying study all the 12 classes, but do not come to us to take the exam every year. So when you take the Level A exam for the certificate of Level A, what NIOS says is they expect you to know the curriculum of 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. When we say curriculum, what is the broad spectrum we mean? NIOS, Government of India has a National Curriculum Framework, NCFQ है हमारा, जो execute हमारी government NCERT की books के through करती है. The NCERT books have been formulated entirely on the National Curriculum Framework. NIOS ho, CBSE ho, ICSE ho, every board in India is supposed to follow the National Curriculum Framework, the National Education Policy, and these two policies are transacted through the NCERT books. Most till at least the primary level, till 5th standard, schools are supposed to primarily use NCERT books. So NIOS at level A is saying कि NCERT books या National Curriculum Framework को follow करने वाला कोई भी और publication, you read those publications for classes 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but give the exam only at 3rd class level. So when you have a Level A certificate, NIOS is certifying that these people, this student, has the knowledge equivalent to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. At Level B, it's classes 4 and 5. At Level C, the student is supposed to have mastered the curriculum of 6th, 7th, and 8th standard. The three of them collectively are called the Open Basic Education. That is what we're discussing today. Open Basic Education, NIOS का part नहीं है, secondary से अलग नहीं है. There's so many, misnomers here. OBE is simply the first 3 levels of NIOS collectively are called the Open Basic Education. इसका भी एक reason है. Again, this is something, we need not go into. But it is actually dependent. Okay, it was initiated as something else. Let's not go there. The first 3 levels are called OBE. Next 2 levels are called the academic levels, which are the secondary and senior secondary. Now, I think there's another thing that, you need to understand here. Differences between OBE and academic. Okay. Same thing, Joshua. Differences between OBE and academic. The first difference is, now, I think if at least everybody would have heard of, B.Ed correspondence se kar rahe. A lot of college courses are done through correspondence. IGNOU, all the courses are done through correspondence. When you do a distance education course, what is the one primary requirement? एक study center choose करना पड़ता है आपको, जहाँ जाके आप exam दोगे. Okay? The correspondence course will have their own curriculum or something equivalent. You study it at your own pace at home. You do not go to a school or a college, but you have to choose a study center where you will go and take the exams, right? Study centers at these 2 levels are called different names. At this level, it is called AA. Here it is called an AI. But what is the primary difference? The way all of us, you and I, studied, exactly the same thing. Till 9th standard, when we were studying, when we were younger, our school had complete autonomy. School को NEP follow करना था, National Curriculum Framework follow करना था. The government had said, please use NCERT books as much as possible, but the school could choose their own publications if they wanted to. And even, let's say, at class 5, the EVS book had, let's say, 16 chapters. the teacher had full liberty to not do all those 16 chapters, just do 14 of those 16 chapters. This teacher who would teach us, she would be the one who would be the setting the question papers. She would be the one who would check the question papers, right? So the school and the class teacher had full autonomy. Absolutely similarly, at OBE levels, the study center has complete autonomy. They will choose the curriculum. They will set the question paper. They will check your question papers, and only the marks will be sent to NIOS. And NIOS will then be issuing a joint certificate. The certificate that you get will be a board certificate, will be issued by National Institute of Open Schooling. लेकिन उनका और कोई role नहीं है. Till OBE, NIOS has absolutely no rule. The entire autonomy has been given to the study centers, which is the AA. Whereas the moment you come to academics, again, the way you and I studied, in 10th standard, the books became common. There was a common question paper that was sent by CBSE to all the schools across India. And every CBSE student took the same 10th standard exam. The same thing happens at the academic level. NIOS, the study center has minimal role. Now, यहाँ पे the study center had the entire role. Here the study center has minimal role. The books are issued by NIOS. There's a set curriculum that has been formulated by them, finalized by them. The books are issued by them, free of cost. The students study at home. A common question paper is sent to all the centers across India. And every student enrolled in secondary and senior secondary of NIOS board will take the same exam, which is then checked at the head office or at the regional center or the head office, and the marks and the certificate is issued by the NIOS. A standalone certificate. There it is not a combined certificate, is it? It is. No, it is a standalone certificate. This is the gist of NIOS for you. I think a lot of questions that were sent to me, Riddhi, were, centering around confusions between OB and academic. I really hope, I was able to address some of them. Of course, we can take up the questions again. That is it. OB is NIOS से अलग नहीं है, उसका part नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. उसके first 3 levels को collectively OBE बोला जाता है, और next 2 levels को collectively academic levels बोला जाता है. There's a third level also in NIOS. These are the vocational subjects. They're separate. They're standalone as the beautiful vocational subjects. जिसमें आप directly admission भी ले सकते हो और academics के साथ भी ले सकते हो. Okay, so this I hope was the basis of NIOS. Now these are those standard questions. Is NIOS legitimate? Is it recognized? So here goes. You really have to choose it every time. All certificates, including OB, are valid to admission to any formal school. It's a certificate issued by the government of India. कौन मना कर सकता है? आप खुद सोचिए. It's a CBSE certificate and an NIOS certificate. Both of them are issued by the government of India. So as valid a CBSE certificate is, NIOS का certificate भी levels A, B, C हर level पे secondary, senior secondary पे उतना ही valid है. Whether it is admission to another mainstream school, suppose आपने level A का certificate लेके, see, okay, let's take an example of, a student studying in 2nd standard. For some reason, had to drop out of school. There's some transfer happened with his father, or he became unwell or whatever, and he was not able to, he had to drop out of school. At which point, when he goes back to the system, so class 2 student would be 8 years old. A class 2nd student would be 8 years old. For some reason, he has to drop out of school. And when he goes back to school the next year, he cannot again join at class 3 level because uska age ऊपर हो गया CBSE के हिसाब से. CBSE has very stringent age requirements. You have to be 6 years in 1st standard. You have to be, 9 years in 3rd standard. So suppose this child then takes the NIOS level A exam, and then the right age goes back to a mainstream school with the NIOS level A exam, which is equivalent to class 3. He can seek admission in class 4. ये hypothetical बात नहीं है. मैंने पिछले 20 साल में इसको बार-बार होते हुए देखा है. So it is, and similarly, class 12th certificate is admissible in all universities across India. Again, personal experience, I've seen it happen everywhere, not just across India, also universities across the world also. If children, who've migrated from India to some university abroad, college abroad, and the certificates have been as admissible as a CBSE 12th standard certificate. It is recognized by the AIU, Association for Indian Universities. That's it. अगर आपकी AIU ने आपको recognize कर लिया, they have MOUs with all the universities across the world. So that's it. That is the, gold mark in India. Curriculum parity with CBSE, very important. Please कभी भी ये मत सोचिए कि लेवल A, B और C का curriculum CBSE के 3rd, 5th और 8th से कम है. नहीं है. There is curriculum parity. So if a class, level A students wants to take admission to 4th standard in CBSE, he can. Because whether, again, I'm saying the same thing again and again, whether NIOS, CBSE or ICSE, all boards have to follow the National Curriculum Framework and the National Education Policy. That is why I'm saying the certificates are admissible everywhere. I hope this cleared a lot of questions. That is one of the primary reservations parents have when they're doing a shift from CBSE to NIOS for whatever reason. That is one of the primary reservations we have. Please don't think twice about it. Salient features of NIOS. I think again, this slide is something that most people would be familiar with. So every level, A, B, C, 10th and 12th, every registration to NIOS is valid for 5 years. Now, यहाँ पे एक बहुत strange सा question आया है आप में से किसी का. It doesn't have to be done in 5 years. You can finish it in 1 year also. The maximum is 5 years. More often than not, it never goes beyond 1 year. Most students will finish every level in 1 year only. So it is a maximum of 5 years. 5 years किस लिए? Okay, what NEP, the last NEP 18, they have envisaged a multiple entry exit points for CBSE also. It is not being implemented yet, probably be implemented from the 25-26 academic year. But NEP has recommended multiple entry and exit points into any educational system. NIS has been doing that since 98. So the 5 years simply means that you take admission in 24 and for some reason you have to drop out. You were unwell, anything, your father got transferred, the economic conditions suddenly did not warrant you going to school. For whatever reason, you need to drop out. You drop out for a couple of years, for a year. You complete whatever assignment you had to. You overcome whatever hurdles came. And you come back to the same level. That is all this means. Minimum age requirement, we'll discuss this very soon. There is only a minimum age requirement. For entry into level A, you should be 7 years of age, but you can also be 70 years of age. So there's only a minimum requirement. There's no higher age limit. Credit accumulation, again, the same thing. Let's talk about this child who at level A had to drop out. Let's say, he was taking his exams. This 8-year-old student at level A, let's say he's 8, whatever age, he's taking his exams. And after taking 3 exams, this child had to drop out, was not able to take his last exam. At level A, B, and C, you have to clear only 4 exams. We'll come to that very soon. So इस student ने 3 exams दिए और 4th वो नहीं दे पाया. So doesn't mean that when he comes back a year later, he'll have to take the exams again. No. The 3 exams which he took, वो उसके bank में enter हो गए. They're in reserve. The day he comes and clears his 3rd exam, his 4th exam, he'll get his level A certification. So there is credit accumulation. Choice of academic subjects, it has always been there. Again, NEP is now, CBSE is now bringing in a lot of choice of subjects. NIOS always has a choice of subjects. At level A, you are a science student. You want to take chemistry, bio and physics. But you've always been very interested in painting also. So you can most definitely take your science stream and painting along with it. And economics also. Choice of subjects is completely flexible. You can change and add your subjects at any time during the duration. ये तो CBSE ने अभी भी नहीं किया. आपने subjects choose किए, after taking, after a while, you realize, after having taken a couple of subjects, after taking some exams, you realize, no, if these were tough, this particular subject, I don't think I'll be able to manage. You can go and change your subject. If after studying a while, you realize, you spoke to your friend and you realize that business studies my friend is studying business studies and I really like the curriculum. You can go and add it. Because, at any level, there's a minimum number of subjects, there's a maximum number of subjects also. So let's say at level A, you have to clear 4 subjects, but you're allowed to choose 7. आपको 4 सब्जेक्ट्स क्लियर होते ही सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा, लेकिन अगर आपको कुछ और सब्जेक्ट्स इंटरेस्टिंग लग रहे हैं, आप अप टू 7 सब्जेक्ट्स ले सकते हो. So you can add or change your subjects at any point during your course of study. This, I think, this actually brings in a lot of flexibility into the whole system. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Now, after this was the base, this was the general NIOS we spoke about. Now, today we're going to specifically speak about the first 3 levels of NIOS, levels A, level B, and level C, which are collectively called NIOS OBE. Okay. This probably is going to be the most important slide of today. Let's take a lot of time on this. I have made a graphical representation of all 3 levels to have a comparison.
Ms.Jaspreet,
Yes, ma'am.
sorry to interrupt. Can you just go little slow? There is a parent who's requested to go little slow with the content.
I've been getting this comment since I was in my 5th standard. उस समय teachers बोलते थे या friends और students बोलते हैं, मैम थोड़ा slow हो जाओ. I am going to really try my best. That is all I've been saying
Thank you
all my
so
life.
much.
No, I'm
Thank you
very
so
sorry.
much. Yeah.
No, okay. So we have a comparison of levels A, B, and C here. So let's start with, okay. Okay. Primarily, Joshua, I'm going to have to close this. Yeah. 3rd, 5th, and 8th. The first difference. 4 subjects, 5 subjects. So level A and B are very similar. That is because in CBSE also, from 1st to 5th, the subjects are similar. You have English, you have Hindi, you have languages, you have maths, and you have EVS till 5th. In a regular school system also, let's say in CBSE, in 6th standard, the EVS splits into science and SST. This is what happens in CBSE. Exactly the same thing happens in NIS also. That is why levels A, B, and C are very similar, and level C is slightly different. Okay, so at levels 8, should be solution to this. Okay, you have 4 subjects. 4 subjects, 2 are mandatory and 2 are optional. What are the mandatory subjects? In fact, I have an idea. Can we go to the, let me stop share. Hmm. I'll show you how I go to the prospectus, because that actually is very, very important. If you're able to, go, prospectus should be your Bible. Whenever we buy a fridge, don't we go through the manual first? So actually, let's do that. I'll actually open the prospectus here. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I'm at, what am I Googling? NIOS. OBE prospectus. See, it's very important. They have three kinds of prospectus: OBE, academic, and vocational. So what we what we search for is NIOS OBE prospectus. Okay. This opens your OBE program. And so this is your page for OBE. Fine. Okay, so do we see do you see the prospectus here? It's glowing new. I'm opening Open Basic Education Prospectus. Okay. Do you see this is very, very important here? When we discuss the curriculum, please note this. There are two OBEs listed here. This is above 14 years of age, and this is 6 to 14 years of age. This will be a very important factor we'll be discussing later. So I'm opening the 6 to 14 years of age group prospectus. Actually, I've already opened it at what I wanted to show you. I'm sorry, I always watch it at very small. Whenever I'm, So, let me go to the top. This is your prospectus. Okay. What I want to show you here, you have frequently asked questions here. Trust me. Okay, every slide I'm making today is not an interpretation. Everything has been taken from the prospectus. Frequently asked questions, trust me, they'll answer every question you might have. I studied NIS from here only. It's a bilingual document, English and Hindi both. Where I want to take you is to the subjects. Okay. See, there are three groups of subjects. Am I visible to everybody? Is it all okay?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway,
Yes, we can see.
Yes.
so can you please see this says group 1? You have three lists here, group 1, group 2, and group 3. Group 1 is languages. Look at the languages options: Hindi, Bengali, Oriya, Malayalam. So there are how many? 23 languages. This is a subject, by the way. We are not doing the medium of study here. That's different. Okay. These are the subjects you can choose. So as a subject, you can take minimum 1 and maximum 2 languages. But a minimum 1 language has to be chosen. So from group 1, I'm talking about levels A and B right now. Levels A and B. From group 1, you will choose 1 language. Minimum 1 language. You can choose a maximum of 2 also. Now, we are going straight to group 3. If you remember, I just said that at levels A and B, you have to clear 4 subjects. 2 of these subjects are mandatory and 2 are optional. The 2 mandatory subjects are first language from group 1, and the second is a pre-vocational subject from group 3, if everybody can see group 3. Now, very common misnomer here, बहुत common misinformation है, यहाँ से आप कुछ भी choose कर सकते हो, नहीं. Every study center is given 3 vocational subjects. We, as a study center, we have to choose only 3 vocational subjects. For example, for our center, we have number 38, art and craft. Sorry, 34, food processing. 38, art and craft. And, sorry, I'm missing food processing, art and craft, and bakery kind, 43, sorry. So we've been given 3, 34, 30. We have chosen 3, 34, 38, and 43. Similarly, whatever study center you might be choosing, they will actually be able to allot you only one of these 3 subjects. So, that is something also I'll come to later, that the most important factor जो डिसाइड करेगा आपका NIS OBE का जो जर्नी है सक्सेसफुल है या नहीं, the most important factor will be your study center at OBE level. One of the factors with a study center will be कि वो कौन से vocational subjects offer करते हैं. You're very keen on taking, let's say, 35 toy making, and the study center you choose has not been allotted toy making. You will not be able to choose it then. Okay, so 2 mandatory subjects, 1 from group 1 and 1 from group 3. Now comes the most important group, that is group 2. From these group 2 also, 29, 30, and 31, they're in Sanskrit. So they're kind of invalid. Veda, Vijnana, and Yoga आप ये 3 नहीं चूज कर, मतलब अनलेस आप संस्कृत में पढ़ रहे हो, आप ये तीनों नहीं चूज करोगे. सो आपके पास ऑप्शंस कौन से रह गए? 24 से लेके 28 तक. Okay, now here also you have to understand. Okay, here also you have to understand. See, these are not being offered at level. Okay, let's talk about level B only right now. Let's talk about only level A and B. Okay, at level A, all subjects at level A will be prefixed with A. Odd levels at B, level B will be prefixed at B. और C के subjects के सबके सामने C आएगा. ये तीनों आप नहीं ले सकते, ये आपके लिए इनवैलिड है. कौन से बच गए? आपको जो 2 ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट्स हैं वो 24 और 28 में से चूज करने हैं. Now, what are the options you have here? We are talking about A and B right now. We are not talking about C. Okay. You have EVS. Okay. Do you see social science? Social science A or B में नहीं listed है. Because till 5th class, SST and science have not been introduced by the National Curriculum Framework. So what are the options actually that you are left with at levels A and B? Let's see the options at levels A and B. You have EVS, then you have maths, and you have computer skills. इन तीनों में से आपको 2 चूज करने हैं. Okay?
Yes.
So what? Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Ma'am,
So there's
one question. Ma'am, one question.
Yes,
Why
sure.
29, 30, and 31 can't be chosen?
सब वो संस्कृत में है. वो
Okay,
लिखे संस्कृत में हुए हैं.
अच्छा. Okay.
31 आप ले सकते हैं. 31 I'll come to a little later. It's slightly controversial right now. ये दोनों सब्जेक्ट संस्कृत में लिखे हुए हैं. आप please open. Okay, all these curriculum are available on the website. So, okay, going back to levels A and B. So what is it that you've chosen? You've chosen one language. Let's say it's English. At our study center, which I'll come to later, at levels A and B, we offer only art and craft as the vocational subject at levels A and B. Second mandatory subject आपका हो गया art and craft. Third, I would very, very highly recommend from my experience of 20 years that please don't ever let go of basic computing skills. Almost everybody with any kind of a challenge is good with logic. So I always recommend subject number 28. You know, it is called A104. Now, actually, you're left with only an option with just between, maths and EVS and Hindi, of course. We are situated in UP. So a lot of our students, at least C onwards, take Hindi, also as a subject. So English and art and craft compulsory hai. Basic computing is something that I would highly recommend. And then number 4 would be an option between EVS. Somebody else is writing. That's okay, no problem. Number 4 is an option between EVS and maths. And you could put in Hindi also. I recommend doing all the subjects. I very, very highly recommend that whether you have a belief that your child is not good at maths, or whether you believe for people in the Northern India, हमारा बच्चा हिंदी नहीं कर सकता. A lot of parents have been recommended by special educators that please drop the second language. By the way, as an aside, according to several studies done at All India AIMS, languages are the best form of mental stimulation. When they're presented with parents who are with patients who are very close to dementia or showing early signs of dementia, one of the things recommended is learn a new language. So for my daughter, what happened to Echo? Okay, I'm going to bring her. I'm going to ask her to join us for a while. She was here earlier. She's met Shivani and everybody. थोड़ी देर के बाद, 2 minutes के बाद. Please interact with her. And she's a perfect example of what a child with just an IQ of 48. NIOS का curriculum कौन सा magic play कर सकता है? I am the biggest advocate of NIOS curriculum, not the board. The curriculum, especially at 10th and 12th level, is phenomenal. Okay, anyway, so I always recommend कि लेवल बी तक प्लीज सभी सब्जेक्ट्स कीजिए. मैथ्स भी कीजिए, अगर आप नॉर्थ इंडिया में हैं हिंदी भी कीजिए. लेवल बी तक. लेवल सी के बाद आके ओके यू कैन स्टार्ट डिफरेंशिएटिंग डिपेंडिंग ऑन द स्किल्स ऑफ योर स्टूडेंट, बिकॉज इट इज ओनली इन माय ओपिनियन इट इज ओनली आफ्टर दे रीच 12-13 years of age that we should start taking a call कि ये उनसे नहीं हो रहा. उससे पहले हमें नहीं करना चाहिए. My daughter has several disabilities. She is the only known combination of two genetic disabilities in the world. Her bones are fused. All her bones are fused. So, very early on, when she was about 3-4 years of age, they tried to introduce Velcro instead of buttons. And the only thing I said very respectfully was that, can we not, make compromises or accommodations just yet? Can we please keep trying for a while? And today she's able to, because we continued with the buttoning as an activity, her, dexterity of her fingers really improved. And I'm sorry, that was as an aside. But in my opinion, till level B, you should try and continue with as many of the subjects that are being allotted as possible. Okay, I'm going to go back to my presentation now. Sorry. Not a tough word. Okay, I'll just go up. So, a
Ma'am,
couple
I have
of
just posted, hi ma'am, I've just posted one question that I have already registered for level A without knowing all these things. So now should I go and
सब
check
कुछ
the
बदल
study
सकते हो.
center? Okay.
आप सब कुछ बदल सकते हो. It's not just the subjects. You can change your study center, you can change your subjects. There's flexibility of time. आप 2 exam
Okay.
अभी दे सकते हो, 2 अगले साल दे सकते हो. I'll come to that. In fact, by the time
Okay,
we finish, I really hope, all the questions will be answered. Am
Yeah,
sure.
please wait, parents. All your questions will be answered towards the end of the webinar. So let's keep posting your questions on the chat box. We'll address each one of them.
Am I a little slower now? Going through? Okay.
Yes, much
So,
better. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you pointed that out. अभी तो I was consciously trying to go slow. When I'm talking to my peer group, I've been told कि एक भी word समझ में नहीं आता. आप इतनी तेज बोल. Okay, so this was level A and B, which are very similar. And then you come to level 8, level C, which is where you're supposed to know the curriculums of level 6, 7, and 8. The primary difference is you now have to clear a minimum of 5 subjects. Subjects वही हैं जो हमने अभी देखे थे. The only thing आप group 1 में से एक choose करोगे, group 3 में से एक choose करोगे. So from group 1, you will choose one subject. From group 3, you will choose one subject. From group 2, instead of 2 subjects, now you will choose 3 subjects. So that out of the 5 subjects, 2 are mandatory and 3 are optional. बहुत ज़्यादा option है नहीं actually. There are only now 4 subjects. At this point, you have an option of EVS, SST, no, you again have 3 only. SST, Science and 4. SST, Science, Maths and Computers. SST, EVS splits into SST and Science, Social Studies and Science, and you have the usual Maths and Computers. Again, I would say, please make computers a mandatory subject. Always choose it, and then you have an option. Then you have to choose 2 from SST, Science and Maths. Again, I would recommend, if possible, at level C, Maths actually बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. Okay, now this is a statement that will be a completely politically incorrect statement, but still, since we are all parents and special educators, I'm going to make it. In my experience, anybody with any amount, even a little amount of ID, let's say, with an IQ of even 70, 75, 8th class ka CBSE curriculum is near impossible. Because by 8th, CBSE has started bifurcating into history, civics, geography, and physics, chemistry, bio. In 8th itself, a bit of a trigonometry starts in maths. The geometry becomes 3-dimensional. It becomes visual. It becomes abstract. So till we were not a study center, till we were dependent on other study centers, our policy, हम लोग कभी level C करते ही नहीं थे. Okay, that is another factor that will come to here. It's written here only. These are 2 very important नीचे जो दिए हुए हैं. There is no upper age limit. Sorry. So level A, it is 7 years, minimum 7 years. For level B, it is minimum 9 years. You can be 12, 13, 14, anything, but you can't be 8. At level C, it is minimum 12 years. This is very important. I really hope almost everybody should know about this. There's no prior certification needed. That is the most beautiful part of NIOS. अगर आपने एक दिन decide किया कि see, as is very common with children with special needs, you've been going to a special school, you've been sending a child to a special school, और वहां पे as usual an IEP is being formed every year, और हम सबको पता है IEP कितनी implement होती है. You know, my daughter is now 22, she's gone through several special schools. So बहुत सारे logistical constraints होते हैं special schools के, हमारे भी constraints होते हैं, parents की equal participation चाहिए होती है. For whatever reason, the IEPs have not been executed very well. You have a 12-year-old student, आपका बच्चा 12 साल का हो गया, and you yourself know कि आपने जितना remediation किया था उसके basis पे वो English fluently पढ़ लेता है, comprehension थोड़ा सा अच्छा है, maths, Hindi, everything, logic is in place, you have done the proper early intervention. And then you think that your child is definitely capable of attempting 5th or 6th standard curriculum, CBSE curriculum. लेकिन आपके पास लेवल A और B सर्टिफिकेशन नहीं है. आपने अपने स्टडी सेंटर में जाके देखा कि लेवल C के जो बुक्स हैं आपका 12-year-old son अटेम्प्ट कर सकता है. So you can straight off go to level C. Up to 10th standard, secondary, you do not need a prior certification. For 12th, yes. That is the first level where you need a certificate of 10th, whether it is from NIOS or CBSE or a state board. लेकिन 10th standard तक आपको कोई prior certification नहीं चाहिए. Admission is open from April to September. Actually, you are having 15th of September for me. मैं मालती बाद में ले लूंगी question answers के time. Sorry, actually I've come straight from school, so I have this wonderful help. She has made tea for me. Can I have it later? Okay. So I hope this slide was very clear. Most of the things that you need to know are incorporated here. Okay. Let's go to the next one, and after this also whatever
Sorry,
is needed.
Jaspreet, sorry, can we please understand this again? The parents have asked if you could just quickly debrief whatever you
Well,
just shared.
we'll do a quick recap.
Yes.
So in this slide, we're talking about the OBE. OBE is OBE has 3 levels under it, level A, B, and C. At level A, NIS expects you to know the curriculum of classes 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. At level B, you're supposed to know so this is 1st to 3rd. Level B is 4th and 5th. Level C is 6th, 7th, and 8th. 6 to 8. Okay. Now, minimum age requirement. There's only one requirement, 2 actually. You have to be an Indian citizen and you have to a minimum age requirement, which is 7 years, 9 years, and 12 years. इसके अलावा entry point के लिए कोई और requirement नहीं है. आपको कोई prior certification नहीं चाहिए. Level A का exam देने के लिए आपके पास class 2 का certificate नहीं चाहिए. Okay, there's something called there is a feature here called no schooling. We'll come to that later, but you do not need any prior certification. Now, the subjects that you need to choose. Over the years, I've seen the maximum confusion is in this part. Let's just clear and do that very quickly. Okay, at level A, you need to clear 4 subjects. Of course, your admission is valid for 5 years. लेकिन जैसे ही आपके 4 सब्जेक्ट्स क्लियर होंगे आपको लेवल ए का सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा. लेवल ए और लेवल बी में 4 सब्जेक्ट्स में 2 कंपलसरी सब्जेक्ट्स हैं and 2 subjects are optional. Okay, now I showed you the subjects earlier. There are 3 groups of subjects on your prospectus. This is not just on the prospectus. जब आप फॉर्म भरेंगे तब भी आपके ये तीनों ग्रुप्स खुलेंगे, फॉर्म में भी खुलेंगे. Group 1 is languages. You have to choose a minimum of 1 language. Now, this is not the medium of study. This is a subject. You have to choose at least 1 language. आप वेस्ट बंगाल में हैं, आप इंग्लिश भी करना चाहते हैं, बंगाली भी करना चाहते हैं, तो आप 2 सब्जेक्ट्स 2 लैंग्वेजेस भी ले सकते हो. 2 से ज्यादा नहीं ले सकते. सेकेंड पे हम अभी आते हैं, पहले थर्ड पे आएंगे. ग्रुप 3 में से आपको एक प्री वोकेशनल चूज करना है, सिर्फ एक. यहाँ पे मिनिमम मैक्सिमम कुछ नहीं है. the subject that you can choose from Group C, there are actually 16 options, but you do not really have 16 options. Every study center is allotted only 3 pre-vocational subjects. और सबसे अजीब पता है बात क्या है, स्टडी सेंटर्स को खुद नहीं पता होता हमको कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स अलॉट हुए हैं. थोड़ा ध्यान से यहाँ पे तो स्टडी सेंटर से बात करना बड़ा जरूरी है. लेकिन एवरी स्टडी सेंटर विल बी अलॉटेड ओनली 3 प्री वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट्स. उन तीनों में से आपको एक चूज करना है. ओके, सो यहाँ पे आपका 1 प्री वोक हो गया, प्री वोकेशनल सब्जेक्ट्स हो गया, आपके 2 सब्जेक्ट्स हो गए. ग्रुप 2 में आपके पास 3 to 4 ऑप्शंस हैं. लेवल ए और बी पे कौन सी ऑप्शन है? ईवीएस, मैथ्स, कंप्यूटर्स. आपको इन तीनों में से 2 चूज करने हैं. एज आई सेड, आई वुड हाईली रेकमेंड कि कंप्यूटर्स जरूर चूज किया जाए. ईवीएस और मैथ्स में से आप एक और सब्जेक्ट चूज कर सकते हैं. बट लाइक आई सेड अर्लियर, आप लैंग्वेज भी एक और ले सकते हैं. नॉर्थ इंडिया में जो हमारे पास बच्चे आते हैं, हम बहुत हाईली हिंदी को बहुत हाईली रेकमेंड करते हैं. I'll come to the books later. We've made our own books, and whether somebody chooses Hindi or not, I always send out the Hindi book also. Please keep it handy during your vacations. When you're done with studying the other curricular subjects, please study Hindi also. So these are the options at levels A and B. You have to clear 4 subjects. Now we're coming to level C. Okay. Again, practically the same thing. What are the differences? You have to clear 5 subjects. Again, the 3 groups. First group, language. Third group, pre-voc. Second group, here you have to choose 3 subjects. In A and B, you were choosing only 2 subjects. Now in level C, you have to choose 3 subjects. What are your options? Computers, maths, science, and SST. Okay, of these 4, you have to choose 3. Again, I would recommend do as many as you can. Take the exam of only 5. आपके सब्जेक्ट में आप पढ़ो सारे, एग्जाम सबके देने की जरूरत नहीं है. And the subject that you do not give an exam of, it is not mentioned in your certificate. So choose, so minimum of, I think I said that earlier, but please let me repeat. There's a minimum of 4 subjects here, maximum of 7. There's a minimum of 5 subjects here, there's a maximum of 7. So आप 7 ले सकते हो. Doesn't mean much because at levels A, B, and C, the books are being given by your study center. And that is the biggest problem that you, me, and every parent has faced. My daughter is now cleared up to 12th standard. She's done 12th NIOS. She started at level B. I discovered NIOS at level B when she was already 12 years of age. But I remember the number of schools I went to. I would stand there with folded hands and tell them, please मुझे किताबें बता दो. The number of times I've said this, to schools. मुझे आप किताबें recommend कर दो, मैं उसको पढ़ा दूंगी. Everybody said हम IEP बनाएंगे. और IEP बनाने वाला, usually the person who's making an IEP is a senior person, who is fully expecting the IEP to be implemented. But at least for me, in none of the special schools that my daughter went through was the IEP implemented. So the biggest difference between CBSE and NIOS OBE is a lack of structure. But the problem is not with the board. The problem is with the study centers. I and Joshua will come on in a while. We kind of volunteer with the school here. Joshua sir works for HCL. We volunteer with this place. And the study center that our school has been going to traditionally, it's a beautiful institution called Jyoti Rehab Center, one of the biggest rehab centers in North India. We were very, very happy with them. We are still very happy with them. Our students still go there for 10th and 12th. But the reason we decided to apply to become an OBE center during the COVID period was because despite their best intentions, even Jyoti did not have a structure. They did not have, set curriculum. They did not have specific books. They did not have a specific set of chapters that would be studied. And that, in my opinion, was the biggest reason for my daughter not being able to translate what we were doing at home into a certification. मुझे पता था उसकी capability बहुत अच्छी है क्योंकि हम घर पे बहुत काम कर रहे हैं. लेकिन फिर भी at the age of 14, her school told me that she's not educable because I did not have a certificate to show for it. I knew she was reading and understanding Enid Blyton. But मैं तो कुछ भी बोल सकती हूँ ना, मेरी बात कौन मानेगा? I did not have a certificate saying that she can do it. That was the primary reason I and Joshua then embarked on this journey of trying to become a center so that we could solve all the problems that we've been facing with our students in other study centers, which were actually very good, but still were not up to the mark. I'm sorry, I went on an aside here. I'll come to that also again later. So this slide we should finish this very, very quickly. Please listen very carefully. अब पिछले 3-4 साल से NIS admission is entirely online. It cannot be done on a hard copy. There is no hard copy of the admission form. The admission is free. Even in Noida, we have come across people charging 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, 20,000 for an NIS admission. NIS की admission free है. You know, it is a very simple form. It is a user-friendly form, but it is entirely online. आपका form आपको यहाँ पे मिलेगा. sdmis.nis.ac.in. लेकिन आप सिर्फ NIOS टाइप करोगे तो भी वो आपको सीधा NIOS की वेबसाइट पे ले जाएगा. The home page itself has the admission thing. The two important things needed before you start your admission process, at least at level A. जब आप level A करके level B पे जाते हो ना, it's very simple. NIOS has really simplified it. You do not have to fill the form again. You simply have to click a button that says go to level B. But the first time you're entering the NIOS system, suppose आप level A के लिए register कर रहे हो, पहला, you will need a unique email and a unique mobile number. ये आपको बहुत सोच समझ के choose करना चाहिए because इसके through आपकी communication होता है. All this is actually not very relevant here. Fee payment is also online. This is actually applicable in all totality only for secondary and senior secondary. इसको disability certificate को यहाँ पे primarily डाला ही इसलिए है. See, when you do NIS admissions, it is recommended at OBE level that you should have your disability. Now, I'm quite sure a lot of you will have this question, and what I'm going to say now will solve a lot of problems. आपका prospectus कहता है, your prospectus says that you should ideally have a disability certificate or a UDID card. For admission to 10th and 12th, you absolutely need this certificate. You know why? Because at 10th and 12th, you have two types of centers. एक normal centers, जहाँ पे कोई भी जा सकता है, और एक special centers, which are usually special schools. A special needs student should choose a special center as his study center only. Now, this is at 10th and 12th. OBE level पे special centers है ही नहीं है. You have centers, you have a study center. That's it. OBE level पे disability certificate mandatory नहीं है. Okay, guys, so I think let's meet Ekam very quickly.
Because I was watching TV.
Because otherwise, okay, what happened to my blur? Sorry, 1 second. So guys, this is Ekam Kaur. The reason I am in the NIOS system. How old are you?
22.
You want to talk to people? What are you doing?
I am doing NIOS.
Haven't you finished NIOS?
Yeah,
What class have you done?
12th.
Do you remember your subjects?
All subjects.
हमेशा all बोलती है. You've done physics, chemistry?
नहीं.
तो फिर अपने subjects बताओ.
English, painting, later the home science, bakery.
So as you all have seen, this जो मेरा train की speed है, verbally I've passed on to her also. Okay, so Ekam's going to be here. Ekam, I'll continue a bit further.
I was watching TV.
Now, you're watching TV. You want to go back to watching TV?
Yes.
Okay, see you then. Okay, okay. Go. Bye, see you. Sorry. So on an aside, actually, she is but look, she should instill a lot of confidence in you. And guys, I can show you a disability certificate. Her IQ is a 48. So अगर 48 IQ वाला बच्चा 12th कर सकता है बिना scribe के बहुत comfortably. And it's not that she's finished 12th. My biggest reason for advocating NIS curriculum at levels 10th and 12th is it's a very functional curriculum. CBSE का curriculum functional नहीं है. NIOS ने उन्हीं topics को लेके उसको functional कर दिया. Anyway, I'll come to that next time. We are talking about the disability certificate. Faster, Bolu. So it's already 7 o'clock. We'll cut out some of the styles, but I'll still talk slow. See, like I've been saying again and again, at OBE level, your study center has complete autonomy. अगर आपका स्टडी सेंटर आपको बोलता है नहीं डिसेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट के बिना एडमिशन नहीं मिलेगी तो वो सच नहीं है. At our study center, we are not asking for disability certificates or the UDID card. In fact, that is an extra service I like to help parents with. In the NCR region, in the Noida region, if there's anybody from the Noida region watching here and you do not have a UDID card, please approach us. But even otherwise also, we help parents fill the form and, help to facilitate the process. लेकिन हमारे यहाँ एडमिशन करने के लिए आपको UDID कार्ड नहीं चाहिए. कहीं पे भी नहीं चाहिए होता. स्टडी सेंटर्स अननेसेसरली बोल रहे होते हैं OB लेवल पे. 10th and 12th लेवल पे yes, you should have the. By the time your child is ready to go to secondary, I really hope all of you have done the very important job of getting a UDID certificate made. These are the provisions. I'll have to go through some of the slides a bit faster. It's already 7. ये बहुत सिंपल है. ये वो provisions हैं जो NIS ऑफर करता है हर लेवल पे. Not just at 10th and 12th. All additional time. Amanuensis is the technical word for scribe. Scribe is a person who comes to the exam and helps the student in any which way the student needs help. अगर वो लिख नहीं सकता है आप लिखोगे लिए. अगर if the student is on the, let's say, on the autism spectrum and he needs somebody to read the question to him, then the scribe can simply read the question. If your child needs the question explained to him, then you can be somebody who's reading the question and explaining it to him. So an amanuensis or a scribe can offer as much or as little help that a student needs. Additional time, scribe, you can bring your own computer. A lot of our students use Avaz. I'm sure a lot of people here know. It's assistive devices. Sage Centers application. Okay. See, a lot of stuff here. So the primary thing that you should know is that additional time, the provision of scribe and the provision to use assistive devices is allowed at OBE level. In fact, I'll come to that very soon. At OBE levels, oral exams are also allowed for the simple reason that the school has full autonomy. Now, again, a very quick slide. Who is NIS OBE for? Firstly, for students who are going to a mainstream system, mainstream school, lekin jahan pe they're not being able to cope with either the academics or the environment. We know of so many autism spectrum ASD students who are able to cope with the academics very well. In fact, they are the smartest student in the class. But the environment they can't cope with the environment, with the overstimulation of the class environment, with the speed at which the teacher talks, with the bullying that his classmates are doing to him, with the, smells of the different lunch boxes. हर lunch box में से इतनी सारी smell आती है कि वो बच्चा olfactory overstimulation नहीं handle कर पाता. So these people who can handle the academics but still are not able to navigate an inclusive school, a mainstream inclusive school. Students in special school with no academic certification. That is where my daughter came in. She had IEPs. She had pretty decent knowledge, but there was no certification for the knowledge. There was no acknowledgement for the knowledge. Children above 14 years of age, for some reason, okay, see, of course, there's only 2% of special needs students in the NIOS system. बाकी सारे तो social dropouts है ना. बाकी सारे वो neurotypical लोग हैं who for some reason, any reason, are not being able to navigate the traditional education system. So children who are over 14 years of age, who will not be given admission in a CBSE school. Schools offering academic support but no remedial therapies. a child on the autism spectrum who's getting wonderful OT at home. He's completely balanced. He goes to the school very well balanced. He's able to handle the overstimulation, everything. But in school, off and on, he will need some help. I can give you an example. I had this student very well adjusted to the school life. लेकिन अगर किसी point पे, suppose, a drum roll happened, or somebody opened a tiffin box which had a very strong smell, and he got overstimulated. At which point he simply needed a timeout. He simply needed to tell the teacher, can I please leave the classroom for 5 minutes? I'll go outside, I'll do some jumping jacks, I'll completely come back normal. But the school provided no remedial therapies. They did not even have understanding of remedial therapies. So any of these students who are not being able to transact the CBSE schools, they should try the NIOS system. Okay, now I think this will again, an important slide will clarify a lot of doubts that people have. Stress factor of parents at OBE study center level. अब हम क्या बोल रहे हैं? You have decided that your child is not being able to navigate the traditional school system. You have read about NIOS. You have decided about NIOS. Now you've decided to enroll your student in the OBE classroom. अब शुरू होगी असली problem. In CBSE schools, everything is being taken care of by the staff. Books kaun se level ki lagengi, what are the curricular activities, co-curricular activities, everything. In this case, so, the owner, CBSE may the onus is only on the parents. In OBE, in most of the study centers, the onus is entirely on the parents. The school has complete autonomy. इसलिए वो completely withdraw कर जाते हैं. कोई भी support नहीं provide करते. So I've bifurcated into the 4 major stress points. First is the study center. There are no local study centers. In bigger places like Kanpur and Varanasi, even in places like such huge towns, we have been told that they don't have active study centers. When people entered the Kanpur correspondent, जैसे ही आप फॉर्म भरते हैं, आप अपना जैसे ही एड्रेस एंटर करोगे in the second form, in the third form, you will be given a choice of study centers that will be located within 20 to 30 kilometers of your house. NIOS आपको खुद स्टडी सेंटर्स का चॉइस ऑफर करेगा. आपने कानपुर का एड्रेस चूज किया, बहुत सारे स्टडी सेंटर्स आ गए, वहां जाके चेक किया तो पता लगा एक भी स्टडी सेंटर एक्टिव नहीं है. सो आइदर नो स्टडी सेंटर्स और इनएक्टिव स्टडी सेंटर्स जो लिस्टेड तो है एज स्टडी सेंटर बट दे आर नो लॉन्गर ऑपरेटिंग. Unfavorable and uncooperative study centers. You go there, you've done your admission, you've chosen the study center, you go there. One, nobody will meet you for the longest, number of months. Finally, when somebody meets you and you tell them, please हमें curriculum बता दीजिए क्या पढ़ना है, because we'll have to come and take your exams. The answer is unfavorable and uncooperative. Trust me, people here, if there are people who've taken admission in OBE, what I'm saying will resonate with a big percentage of, people who have the students registered. It's a very, very common problem. Limited subjects offered. Again, very common problem. आप level C पे जाओगे, you will be told that we do not offer science. So आपको maths choose ही करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि हम science offer ही नहीं करते या हम SST offer ही नहीं करते. Admission time. Though it is a very simple form, but a very big percentage in India still is not tech savvy. The study center will not offer you any help in admission and subject selection. This is very, very, very common. You might be filling your form, you're able to do it because you need to know what is the basis of subject selection. You go to the study center and ask them, हमको maths और science में से choose करना है. Can you tell us what should be the criteria? Can you show us your question papers? Can you tell us what kind of assessments you are going to be doing? अगर बहुत टफ होने वाला है तो मैथ्स छोड़ देंगे, लेकिन आपको कोई हेल्प नहीं मिलेगी स्टडी सेंटर से. नो सपोर्ट इन चेकिंग एडमिशन स्टेटस लेटर. एडमिशन इज ऑनलाइन. इट टेक्स अबाउट 3 to 4 weeks फॉर एडमिशन टू बी वेरीफाइड. आप जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स अपलोड करेंगे दे विल बी इवैल्यूएटेड एंड देन, but being first time parents and maybe also not being tech savvy, you will be dependent on others entirely. जबकि उसको check करना, basically the stage of your admission, study centers will not help you with. Curriculum, very expansive curriculum. Now, actually, सबसे बड़ी discussion हमारी curriculum के बारे में ही होनी चाहिए. Let's finish this slide very quickly and then I'll talk about curriculum. The curriculum is so expansive, इतना बड़ा है. I would put the percentage at 90%. 90% of the people who decided to pursue OBE and dropped out was because they saw the curriculum on the website. Website पे curriculum इतना मुश्किल था कि उन्होंने drop out कर लिया. Okay, no curriculum accommodations. Then the curriculums are not adopted. Books are not provided. अगर books बता भी दिया गया है, I'll come to this very soon actually. I should go out of this very soon. And what is this? Examinations. 90% of the study center are not aware of the relaxations being offered by NIOS. आप जाके बोलो हमें scribe बनना है, वो बोलेंगे नहीं allowed है. The fact that parents are being allowed to scribe for their students was enacted during COVID. Lekin to this year also, in this year's 24 public examination, a huge number of study centers were still not aware of the fact that parents can also go as a scribe. Examination environment is not at all conducive. NIOS बहुत clearly बोलता है कि जब आप exam लो, exams, every study center should conduct the OBE exams in the second half of the day. See, study centers तो अलग से नहीं होंगे ना, mainstream schools में ही study centers होते हैं. So there are several provisions that NIOS expects the study center to do. For example, the exam should happen after the main school has finished, after 2 o'clock. The classroom should only be on the ground floor. The bathroom should be easily accessible. But none of these environments are offered by most of the study centers that we had come across. Okay. Now, actually, I'll come to the curriculum very, very soon. Let me see what is happening next. We'll have to lose some of the slides. Challenges faced by students very quickly. In IEP, you are expected to do small modules. When you join OBE, you are given these books and you're expected to learn the entire curriculum over the year और साल के end में आपको एक exam देना है. This is the most important stress factor for most CWSN. उनको छोटे-छोटे installments में पढ़ के assessment नहीं होना, उनको पूरी book पढ़नी है, and at the end of the year, they have to be assessed. There's no definitive study material, no functional curriculum. Examination is not ability-based. I can give you an example. We have a student from the US जो type कर सकता है, लेकिन because of his physical problem is not able to handle the mouse very well. So there were two options. Either the mother could have, he can't write at all, physical disability. He's not able to modulate, maneuver the mouse either, but he can type very slowly, but he can type. So either his mother could have become a scribe, or else what they did instead was they chose DOS as the operating system, not a GUI-based Windows. The child now gives his exam by typing using the DOS mode. So again, another very simple thing would be you have a child who's able to understand, comprehend very well, but would much rather not write for whatever reasons, physical disability or otherwise. लिखना नहीं चाहता, लेकिन और because उसे जबरदस्ती लिखवा रहे हैं, he's got fed up of studies. This child, if he's allowed to give at least some of the exams verbally, we will instill the confidence in him that we are not pushing you to do. So examination should be ability based, should test the knowledge, should not test the expression of knowledge. The child should be able to give the exam whatever way he is comfortable. This is a flexibility given by the NIOS board, but has to be transacted by the study center, and it is usually not done by them. Now I'm going to come out for just 2 minutes and address a very important issue, that is the curriculum. All study centers across the board will offer 3 kinds of curriculum. Let's say study centers A, B, and C. Study center A, let's say example of level B. Study center A at level B will say, आप class 5 का NCERT का books पढ़ो. Same grade curriculum. भाई अगर class 5 का पढ़ सकता होता आपके पास नहीं आता ना, CBSE में होता है. Study Center B, they are saying that was our study center, which I say was very, very nice. At level B, they asked us to study NCERT level grade 4 books. But there also, like I said, EVS की book मिल गई, 16 chapters हैं. The first time I remember we all went for the exam, we studied all 16 very nicely. And after the question paper, I was generally going through it and I asked one of the parents from that school, इन सब चैप्टर्स में से तो क्वेश्चंस नहीं है, हमने वो चैप्टर बहुत अच्छे से स्टडी किया था, उसमें से तो कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है. एंड दिस पेरेंट टेल्स मी हमने तो वो चैप्टर किया ही नहीं, बिकॉज दैट स्कूल from EVS had studied only 8 chapters. We had studied all 14. That is the second type of study center. That's third type of study center, which is the absolute worst. If you remember, when we go into the prospectus, I showed you there are 2 types of OBE. One for children below 14 years and one for children above 14 years. One for people above 14 years. आपकी NIOS की वेबसाइट पे OBE का एक curriculum दिया हुआ है. It's an exemplar curriculum, but the curriculum is meant for people above 14 years of age. The first page of every book says for people between 15 to 35 years of age. And this third type of study center will follow. Now, the problem is that a majority of study centers follow the curriculum given on the website. उसमें एक लेवल बी का जो कंप्यूटर का सिलेबस है ना, वो 12th क्लास के कंप्यूटर के सिलेबस से टफर है. That is an exemplar curriculum. NIOS is saying choose a part of it. And that too for people above 14 years of age. So the biggest problem, the biggest factor that will determine whether you are successful at levels A, B, and C is the study center you choose. And within the study center, the curriculum they offer. So when you choose going for OBE, आपने अपना correspondence address भर दिया, आपका study centers आ गया. Now please listen very carefully. Once you start filling your form, at the first level itself, once you enter the form, you're allowed to come out of it. You reach the study center level, you do not have to complete the form there and there itself. So you can take a list, take a picture of the study centers being offered to you, go to every study center, please go to every study center, talk to them, see how efficient they are, how helpful they are. सबसे बड़ी बात, वो कौन सा curriculum use कर रहे हैं, क्या आप वो curriculum कर सकते हैं या नहीं. और उसके बाद भी I would highly recommend that during the year, please go to the study center multiple times, so that when you go for the exam, it is not, your child does not go into a meltdown or something. He's familiar with the environment. Okay, I'm going to go back because here, as an example, I'm going to talk about our study center. I think we've done a decent enough job because हमने जो mistakes हमको सब में मिली, हमने उसको correct करने की कोशिश की है. This is just to give you an example of what a good study center can do. I think we're pretty good. Okay, this is the OMS OBE program offered by our school, which is AMSS, Amrit Masonic Special School. बहुत simple हमारा motive है. Okay, guys, जब मेरी बेटी ने 10th और 12th किया था, which was about 2 years ago, when she had started the OBE program also, it was only for mental stimulation. Because even though the provisions had been given by the government of India, there was an act in 92, National Trust Act. There was an act in 95, the PWD Act, whereby the government gave reservations for our students in colleges, in government jobs. But despite that, none of that was happening at the ground level. You know why? Because our students were not certified. When Ekam was very young, she was offered a job at Shoppers Stop, at the front desk. लेकिन उनको minimum requirement 10th चाहिए थी. And I so clearly remember saying that is impossible. Ekam will never be able to do 10th. That's when I started going backwards and discovered the NIOS curriculum. Now our children, every one of our students after 12th goes to college, and almost all of them, where the parents are willing, almost all of them get employed. So that is our motive. We would like all CWSN in India to get their senior and secondary certification, so that at least they are employable. Whether they want to be employed or not, different story. Now, this is what we do. I'm taking the same stress levels. One of the things I would like to highlight here is, at our study center, the onus, like with all CBSE schools, it's not just on the parents, but it is 40% of the parents and 60% on us. We've tried to solve the problems. How? Now, study center, we have an online as well as an offline learning mode. Our study center is very user-friendly for the simple reason that we are a special school. So any child coming to take any outside student coming to take an exam at our school, if he needs any sort of OT, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, speech therapy, right in the middle of the exam, the child needs to be calmed down. All the facilities are available. Admission process, we do the admission. Or at least on Zoom, we will take the parent through the admission process. It is very easy. But when you do your admission yourself, you're a lot more confident. And even if admission hum karenge, it is an online thing. Yeah, the moment you finish your admission, your NIOS is going to issue you a username and a password. उस username password को लेके आप कभी भी अपने फॉर्म में जाके अपना पूरा फॉर्म असेस कर सकते हो. And this is till your documents are being verified. Once your documents are verified and you've been given admission, an I-card will be issued to you. That will also reflect on your student dashboard. उसमें एक enrollment number दिया होगा. आपको किसी के पास, you don't need to go to anybody. क्या मेरा admission हो गया है? मेरे subjects कौन से हैं? मैंने कौन सी fees pay की थी? You don't, all the information is right at the click of your finger. You just, so I really hope that we empower all our parents to do it themselves. You should not be dependent on others. Like in a CBSE school, आप पूरे empowered हो अपने बच्चे को लेके. The same thing should happen in an NIOS school also. So we do an orientation for every single parent. In fact, after a while, we stop helping. आपको हमने सिखा दिया, आप खुद करने की कोशिश करो. Curriculum is the most important USP we have. See, the books have been written by me. They've not been written by me. I've just collected a lot of worksheets and a lot of NCERT chapters that I use with my daughter. But the books have been, for example, okay, I'll show you the books very soon. The books are based on NEP, on the National Curriculum Framework. They are based on NCERT chapters. But along with that, they will have a lot of phonetic sheets. They will have a lot of comprehensions. They will have worksheets where you will have to describe the pictures. जैसी चीजें हमारी IEP में होती हैं. Describe this picture, arrange these pictures in a sequence, what is wrong with the picture, what differences in the picture, complete the maze, then let's do 80-word exercises. So our books have NCERT chapters interspersed with a lot of these activities, which our students need. Along with that, actually, we'll come to all this in the next slide. Curriculum ke base pe. Examination, I'm very proud of this. This is something that it was, my suggestion when we were getting we were trying to become a study center. And as I told you, is very close to us. हम रोज पहुंच जाते थे वहां पे. We were told 3 साल लगेंगे study center बनने में. हम रोज नहीं तो every alternate day चले जाते थे. We'll simply go and, go to the relevant department and say good morning. These people finally got fed up of us and they gave us the certification in 1 year flat, accreditation in 1 year flat. One of those times I went there, they were mad at me and they told me, ठीक है मैम एक solution बताइए, हम आपको study center बना देंगे. आपके बच्चों के लिए एग्जाम का स्ट्रेस बहुत ज्यादा हाई होता है. Can you recommend one, step that can take off the stress of the examination? My answer was the first point you see here, 2-semester system. And the second point, we split our curriculum into 2 halves. आपकी the OBE program is a 7-month program, starts in July, has to finish in Feb. But we have another exam midway. We split our curriculum into 2 parts. In October, we have a midterm exam, जिसमें आधा curriculum आता है, which is not carried forward. Along with that, before the October and February exam, we send out 2 sample papers. Now, this is one thing that all of you can request of your study center. आप studies, जिस भी study center को आपने choose किया है, आप वहां जाके रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हो एग्जाम से पहले, फरवरी के एग्जाम से पहले. I've been told we are the only center in India with a 2-semester program. आप फरवरी के एग्जाम से पहले रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हो ब्लूप्रिंट देने के लिए, सैंपल क्वेश्चन पेपर्स देने के लिए एंड क्वेश्चन पेपर डिजाइन के लिए देने के लिए. Now please listen to what I'm going to say. Your study center is obligated to give you a question paper design and sample question papers. They will not do it. They might have excuses. But if you know that you're entitled to them, फिर आप थोड़ा firmly उनको request कर सकते हो. We provide all NIOS exam relaxation, scribe extra time. Is a student-centric, the exams are very student-centric. What I mean by that is that we don't have one set of question papers. The question papers, see, sample question paper, आपको 2 मिल गए. Let's say उसमें 10 fill in the blanks हैं, 5 each. आपके final exam, आपके question paper में 5 आने. So you will get 5 out of those 10 fill in the blanks. So it's very easy. But then we give further relaxations also. For example, non-verbal students can give the exam through Avas or any other augmentative device they might be using. This example I gave you, a lot of students use the computer. Though I do not recommend the computer till level B. मैं हमेशा मेरी recommendation ये होती है कि most of the exam is going to be multiple choice. Fill in the blanks, tick the correct answer. Let the child do it. Let it be a very, lopsided tick. Let him just, make a very big tick or circle or whatever. Lekin don't give the accommodation of a computer till level B at least. At level B, at level C, क्योंकि answers थोड़े बड़े हो जाते हैं, तो अगर आप करना चाहो आप कर सकते हो. You can use the computer and not at all. But as a parent, I would recommend delay the compromises, the accommodation as late as possible. I'll go through this very, very quickly. I've already told you. This is the routine we follow at our study center. The reason I'm telling you this is, इसकी permission हमें NIOS से मिली है, ये हमने नहीं किया. So if we could get permission for all these steps, your study centers are already given this permission. They can do all of this. So you can go to them and request, firmly but politely, request for these accommodations. We start our, okay, I can't see because of this and this is not going down. Okay. April to June, we do your admissions for you. And we will also, I'll just show you the books we have. The books are dispatched, couriered, and the WhatsApp group is formed. The WhatsApp group, in my opinion, is the best part. All the parents start interacting. Any welcome to that. From July to September is a semester 1. Half the syllabus will be covered. We have monthly doubt clearing classes. Doubt clearing classes only 5 to 6 or maybe even lesser. These classes happen in the evenings. They're only for parents and caregivers. It is not for students. But in these classes, we will discuss the book back exercises, the worksheets that we've already sent you. The curriculum is split into 6 parts, no? It's a 7-month program, but October हमारा exam में चला जाता है. So all the books have 6 or, near to 6 chapters. So आपको monthly curriculum की worksheets भी मिल जाएंगी, and we'll have doubt clearing classes. And during those doubt clearing classes, they're more a discussion. All the parents, the way the discussion happens is very good. October, we will have our first semester exam. I told you sample papers. November to January, we will have our second semester, which will cover only the second part of the curriculum. The same thing will happen, monthly worksheets, doubt clearing classes. In February, you will again have the exam, remaining half syllabus, sample question papers, and we will give you the exam blueprint also. Okay. Now, I would like to show you some of our books. Again, to give you an example of what a study center can do for you. I didn't do this. Sure. Okay. Okay, somebody is writing. Will I be able to clear? Let me try. There's a clear all somewhere, no? Okay, I'm being able to clear. Somebody is clibbering. I don't know who. Okay, so these are our books. I can show you some examples also. Color-coded books. Green are level A, yellow are level B, then the red bag. And C are level C. Okay, I think I'll come out again. Do you see in level C, the subject's name is home science? It happened by chance. I made this PPT in a hurry. You didn't see home science in those subjects, did you? Why do we have home science here? Again, I told you earlier in the webinar, I told you that while we were going to other study centers, none of our students took level C exam. Level C करना बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल होता है. 7th और 8th का curriculum करना, मेरे opinion में, for any sub CWSM, for excluding a very small percentage of children on the spectrum who are very high performing. For most of the students, level C is very difficult. Doing the 7th and 8th curriculum was very difficult. We found a solution for that, in which we were very heartily supported by the NIOS head office. हम level C पे 10th NIOS का 50% curriculum कराते हैं. At level C, with the minimum age is 12, we tackle 50%. Okay, these are our books. Exactly what you see here. I'll show you the level C in a minute. No, there's something actually I wanted to show you. Uh, see this. This is a level A book. Sorry, don't look at this. Do you see there's 6 chapters? And you have their bifurcated. This is to bring an accountability for our teachers as well as parents. Happy Child, the first 2 chapters, this is level A, English book. Green is level A. First 2 chapters are from Marigold, class 1. NCERT English book, class 1. Next 2 chapters are from class 2. Last 2 chapters are from class 3. Zoo Manners is NCERT Marigold, class 3. Along with that, you have rhyming words here, you have opposite words. Here you have sight words, noun and number. Here you have shapes, opposite words, sequencing, punctuations, interspersed. But the point is that Happy Child has to be done in July. Okay, we're very clear. It's a sequential, limited, time-bound curriculum. The reason is IP का failure का सबसे बड़ा reason क्या होता है? It's not time-bound. They'll give you an IP for 3 months, but they can very easily say, "Ma'am, आपके बच्चे ने cooperate नहीं किया, हम finish नहीं कर पाए." So one of the important things I wanted to do was make the curriculum time-bound. Okay. Now these are our books. I think we have some examples. Just 1 second. Yeah. Now graded curriculum, like in CBSE. Let's do this slide very quickly. CBSE में क्या होता है? आप जो कुछ third में पढ़ते हो, fourth में use होता है. You know, the curriculum of class 5 is a diving board for class 6. The curriculum is taken forward till 10th. That is exactly what we've also tried to do. We've taken the example of computers here. Okay. So level A, level B, level C, and this is secondary. Secondary का computer का curriculum बहुत प्यारा है. It's a very functional way of learning computers. The book is available online. You can go to the website. 10th और 12th का curriculum बहुत अच्छा है. OBE का नहीं है. OBE का curriculum बहुत difficult है, जो website पे है. So what we've tried to do is, we have taken this curriculum, we start teaching the 10th curriculum from level A. So at level NIOS at 10th, if you're supposed to study about all the details about software, how will we start? At level A, we will only mention hardware and software. Computers के 2 parts है, hardware and software. At level B, we will define software and mention the 2 parts of software, system and application, just mention. We're gradually taking it forward. At level C, we will define the software, we will define system and application software, and we will also tell you the types. So this is a gradual, there's another example here. So what we're doing, what we're saying is that with the same way that we do in CBSE, with NIOS OBE curriculum also, there should be a grading. Level A should prepare you for level B should prepare you for class 10th. Okay, that's what we're trying to say. Some more examples. We've tried to make it very visual and very functional. This is a chapter, this is an example from level B EVS, human body, this chapter 2. So, it's this is the format of the book. Sorry, level C. Now, the parrot who couldn't talk is this is a chapter from the NIOS 10th book. Okay, what is this? Just a minute. The parrot who won't talk is a story by Ruskin Bond. आपका जो 10th class का NIOS का English है, it has chapters by Mahatma Gandhi, My Experiments with Truth. It has chapters from Discovery of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. It has a poem by Sarojini Naidu, The Weavers. Then there's this chapter by Ruskin Bond. They're all wonderful, functional chapters. Now, chapters बहुत बड़े-बड़े. They're 2 fat books of English, 28 chapters. This is chapter number 27, actually. उसमें से the 28 chapters, but with a change that happened last year, which we'll discuss in the next seminar, you're now supposed to study only 16. So in class, okay, let's do this. At level 10th English, you have to study 16 chapters. Of these 16 chapters, how many do we have here? You have 8 chapters. You have 6 chapters and 2 very big computer grammar topics, letter writing and conjunctions. These are grammar topics from 10th. So you have 8 chapters and 2 grammar topics that you will study in C level itself. Why are we doing this? Class 10th board exam है, आपको study center में जाके देना है, वहां NIOS से invigilator आएगा. It is exactly like a board exam. It is a daunting experience. What we've tried to do is, you study a bit of that in level C, you study at home, you give your exam in a very helpful study center. See, class 10 में तो study center बिल्कुल भी involved नहीं है ना, आप वहां सिर्फ exam देने जा रहे हो end में. They have no role to play. So at level C, if you do some of that syllabus in your friendly study center, then class 10th becomes a lot more easier. So, and again, you know, there will be a small summary. I will show you this chapter from here. So this is the chapter from the book. इसमें आपके यहाँ पे 4 points हैं, there are 6 points. You know, it's a small summary. But the questions that follow, these are not adapted. They are questions from your 10th book. They are questions that have been made by studying the last 10-year question papers. So when you do the parrot who won't talk in level C, you will not have to repeat it at 10th class in the next year when you do secondary. I hope this was not confusing. I hope this was understandable. What we've tried to do at level C is, rather than take topics from classes 7th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, which in my opinion are very difficult, we have taken chapters from the, I have the book here. I'll show you the English book. Yeah. I'm sorry, I've just found the home science book. English ki, so for home science, you have 2 such books. It says 2 and no, so there's another book 1 also, itni moti. English ki bhi aisi 2 books hain aapke. Okay. To answer the question that has just come up, no, ma'am, as I've been saying again and again, there is no prior certification needed. You do, like I said, हम लोग पहले level C करते ही नहीं थे जब हम दूसरी जगह जाते थे. Now, let's take an example of a child who is 12 years old. The minimum age for 10th admission is 14 years. Okay, and let's say you're now 12 or 13 years old, and let's say you're 11, 12 years old, and you've come to level C. Rather than take chapters from NCERT classes 6, 7, and 8, what we have done is, because abhi aapka 10th mein admission nahi ho sakta, aapki age requirement fulfill nahi hoti. So at 11, 12 years of age or 13 years of age, you do take admission in level C. You can't take admission in 11 and 10th yet. You're not yet 14. So take admission in level C very comfortably in your home environment. Do 50% of the 10th curriculum. There's a paradigm shift between OBE and 10th. So you become familiar with the terms you become familiar with the terms that are going to be used in class 10th, so that when you finally take admission in class 10th, it is not a daunting experience. So that is my presentation. I hope I was able to explain OBE. I explained as well as I could.
Yes.
Any questions right now or even later? You're most welcome.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms.Jaspreet. I think it was one of the most interesting topic that we've had. It was really good to have you in and fill us in with all the, questions that we had. Before we quickly jump into the question and answers, we would just want you to hear about Saamarthya. We are an organization who has a sliding scale model which can be affordable for everybody. We focus on children, so we do provide one-on-one intervention sessions. We have group sessions. We do therapies at the center, and we do have a curriculum which is very interesting, which caters the need of children at schools also. Since Saamarthya is a family resource center, we do focus on the parents as well, and we are building a lot of public awareness, sessions. One of the session that we had today was about the public awareness. We are catering children through multiple languages. We have special educators who speak in Hindi, Marathi, English, and are very interested to serve all the children with neurodiversity. We do use a lot of tech, so we have a hybrid model. There are online sessions and offline sessions that we offer. So we would love to see you. If you are in Pune, please feel free to visit us at the center. Besides that, I'm very excited to share about Udan. It is one of our new program that we are planning to launch very soon to do with NIOS. It is your guide to open schooling and what could you do as a parent for open schooling and just teaching children NIOS curriculum. We do have few, board members who are great with their skills and who will serve you with this program. Ms. Bhavna Pandey, if you're there, you can just say hi to us. She's
Hello,
the one
everyone.
who will help us
Welcome.
with Udan. Hi, Ms. Bhavna.
Hi.
Yes. So she's the one who can provide online classes and help you prepare for NIOS. And in fact, she's the one who got Ms.Jaspreet. So thank you so much, Ms. Bhavna, for having such a resourceful person with us today. Besides, here are some highlights about the program. It's going to be an expert-led. Just like I said, Ms. Bhavna will take a lead onto it while we will all be together working towards it. It's going to be a customized curriculum, which will not only focus on the curriculum itself, but help you with the holistic development of the child, keeping the child's strength-based approach, which Ms. Jaspreet was also sharing about, keeping that in mind and then having an entire curriculum for your child specifically. And of course, it is going to help you with your learning experience. And in case if you want to find out more about us, understand what our work is like, please feel free to get in touch with us on the number provided or email us on our email IDs. Feel free to take a screenshot of this slide if you like, and we'll be happy to help you with whatever capacity we can. Thank you so much, parents, to just be here and listen to us. We really had a wonderful audience. Moving on, we are quickly going to just jump on our question and answers. So the first question that we have is, do we have a behavior analyst in our team? No, but many of us as special educators are really equipped to help you with behavior analysis and helping your child with the behavior management. So please feel free to get in touch with us and we'll be happy to help you about it. One more question that we have from a parent called as Vinamrata is, just a second, sorry. Does a CBSE school accept a child if he has done his initiation education from NIOS? Vinamrata, can you please unmute yourself and share your question?
Ma'am, I think we've already answered this. There's complete parity. There's lateral movement from CBSE to NIS, NIS to CBSE. We've seen it happen multiple times. And by the way, the government has a policy that no school before 8th can turn away as child with special needs. Okay, so they anyway can't, NIS or not. But yes, NIS, if you've done your class 3rd, if you have level A certificate from class 3rd, you can go and seek admission in class 4 in a CBSE school.
Ms.
Okay.
All
Jaspreet,
good authority.
I have a question here. This is related to the curriculum. Why for the level A, there is no English curriculum available on NIS site?
मैम लाइक आई टोल्ड यू, आप फिर वो बुक खोलिए, आप अच्छे से खोलिए, उसके फर्स्ट पेज पे लिखा हुआ है मेंट फॉर पीपल फ्रॉम 15 to 35 years of age. So they've never had the English curriculum there. That curriculum, NIOS very actively discourages that curriculum to be used for children below 14 years of age. That is not meant for our segment. That is meant for the other segment. That is a very difficult curriculum, but yes, you're absolutely right. The English has not been there ever. शुरू से नहीं है.
तो क्या करना चाहिए उसके लिए इन केस ओबी लेवल पे इंग्लिश तो एनसीईआरटी बुक्स ग्रेड लेवल
Ma'am,
एनसीईआरटी बुक्स
like I said, Bhavna ji, like I said, there are 3 kinds of study centers. आपका जो आप ओबी में पढ़ोगे, एग्जाम तो वो स्टडी सेंटर सेट करेगा. इनफैक्ट वो स्टडी सेंटर की टीचर सेट करेगी. So, following your own curriculum or studying the exemplar curriculum doesn't help at all. आपको जो स्टडी सेंटर देगा, आपको वही पढ़ना पड़ेगा. आपके पास चॉइस ही नहीं.
थैंक यू फॉर द क्लैरिफिकेशन.
Thank you.
Okay, there are a few questions which I think are already answered, but we can quickly just touch upon them. One question is, what is the age criteria for these levels? And the other question is, ma'am, level A को qualify करने में बच्चे को एक में ही admission करना पड़ेगा. I am not understanding this question, Mr. Jay, but I'm assuming आप पूछ रहे हो कि एक qualify करने में admission एक बार लेना पड़ता है. What is it? Can you just unmute yourself and help us with your question? Mr. Jay, are you online? Okay. Moving on, the ones who've raised your hand, we will have you also ask. What is the age criteria for the levels? Can we choose subjects or are there fixed level for ABC? These are questions which are answered. Do you want to just re-answer it?
7, 9, and 12. And what was the second one, ma'am? Do we have subject choices?
हाँ, subject choices है कि नहीं है?
वही मैंने आपको जो दिखाया था, आपके 2 mandatory, 2 compulsory and 2 optional subjects, levels A and B. At level 5, 2 compulsory and 3 optional subjects.
Okay.
There's not too much of choice at OBE level. From 10th onwards, it's like unlimited.
Okay. And from where can we get the books for NIOS? Study centers के सिवाय और कोई places है जहाँ पे अपने को मिल सकती है books?
कहीं और से आप सब जगह से ले सकते हो, कुछ भी पढ़ा सकते हो, कोई फायदा नहीं होगा पढ़ाने का, क्योंकि आपका जो एग्जाम है स्टडी सेंटर सेट करेगा. तो वही पढ़ो. आई थिंक यू शुड स्टडी. इट डजंट मेक सेंस. यू नीड टू स्टडी द बुक्स, फ्रॉम व्हिच द क्वेश्चन पेपर इज गोइंग टू बी सेट. सो अगर आप हमारी बुक्स लेके पढ़ लेते हो और आपने स्टडी सेंटर बैंगलोर में चूज किया है, they using God knows what all curriculum, doesn't make sense, no? Yeah.
Correct. Is this board valid internationally? So can like a child give?
Absolutely. I've had students, right now. Yeah, absolutely.
Correct. Great. A secondary certificate is issued by NIOS and paper is set by CBSE only. Is that that's a question?
Oh no, I think I mentioned CBSE way too many times. I'm very sorry about that. I was just trying to build a parallel. आप CBSE system में नहीं हो, आप NIOS system में हो. NIOS आपको किताबें देगा, NIOS question paper set करेगा, check NIOS करेगा, certificate भी वही देगा.
Correct. So parents, just for clarity, CBSE एक अलग board है, NIOS एक अलग board है. NIOS will do whatever NIOS has to do by itself. That itself is like a board that does everything. There is nothing to do with CBSE.
If I could interject for just a minute, I saw something about ICSE also. So like I mentioned in the first line itself, India has 3 boards at school level: CBSE, ICSE, and NIOS. Whichever board you are studying at, the government simply wants you to follow the NEP and the National Curriculum Framework and follow NCERT books as much as possible, or at least the parallel curriculum, So all 3, there's lateral movement in all 3 of the boards. You can go from ICSE to CBSE, which actually is a bit difficult. If you are ground level pay, a lot of ICSE schools are not able to transfer to CBSE. NIOS can go to CBSE and ICSE equally easily.
Great. So that is how the grading happens for all the parents who had these questions. How to make admission through NIOS?
It's entirely online. Anybody needing help, actually I gave you the link, NIOS, but if you simply type NIOS, it'll take you to the homepage of the website. The very first column of the homepage is admissions. You click on that. नीचे OBE आ जाएगा, आपको वो चूज करना है और वहां से लेवल. It's actually 6 forms आएंगे उसमें, and trust me, it's very user friendly form. But if any of you get stuck anywhere, I'm not saying it here in this webinar, Joshua sir helps facilitate admissions for I think आजकल days चल रहे हैं, so he's filling, I think, about 20-25 forms a day. So anybody getting stuck anywhere, please reach out to us.
Yeah, Jaspreet, I was just going to say, first of all, what a phenomenal session. This was so incredible. Thank you again for doing
you.
that. I was just going to ask you to, Joshua sir, to post your contact, email ID and contact details in the chat box, because we are getting a few
I
questions
have
from
an idea.
parents.
In the next class, in the next webinar, today, the way I opened the OBE prospectus, we could for a minute open the admission form next time for just 5 minutes.
Sure. But
We
also
can take you through
do post your contact details so that parents can
Absolutely.
get in touch with you directly. And I know Nidhi ji
Absolutely.
has been raising her hand for a very long time. You can
Yes,
please go
ma'am.
ahead and mute yourself.
Yes,
Sorry for
please.
go ahead.
No, it's okay, मैम. मैम, मेरे बेटे ने जो OBE का B लेवल था वो 22 में पास किया था. फिर 23 में क्या हुआ कि वो सेंटर एकदम एंड टाइम पे, एग्जाम टाइम पे कैंसिल हो गया C लेवल के लिए, तो वो नहीं दे पाया. और हमें पता भी नहीं था कि इतनी जल्दी अलॉट हो गया है, मुझे इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं हो पाया. फिर इस साल क्या हुआ, उसका UDID कार्ड नहीं बना है अभी तक, तो इस साल भी उसने नहीं दिया. तो अभी मैं ये सोच रही हूँ कि मैं उसको जो सेकेंडरी लेवल के लिए मैं डायरेक्ट एनरोल कर सकती हूँ या मुझे लेवल C के थ्रू ही जाना पड़ेगा.
नहीं मैम, आपको बिल्कुल कोई प्रायर सर्टिफिकेशन नहीं चाहिए. आप 10th
जी.
में सीधा जा सकते हैं. द ओनली थिंग दैट मैटर्स
ओके
इज कि एबिलिटी है या नहीं.
ओके ओके.
और
सो नो,
everybody-
he can take 2 subjects at a time ना.
एब्सोल्युटली एब्सोल्युटली. आप अभी एडमिशन लीजिए और उसके बाद देयर इज अ मिनिमम 1 ईयर ऑफ पीरियड ऑफ स्टडी. आप 1 साल के
हाँ.
बाद, आपको पता होगा 10th एंड 12th तो 2 बार होता है एग्जाम, अक्टूबर एंड
हाँ.
अप्रैल.
Yes, yes.
April
लेकिन
exam is
minimum
called mock
9
one.
months. 9 months of study is compulsory, na. So if I enroll right now within September, then he will be able to give exam in March only, March 25.
Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
तो
If you
मैम, मुझे एक चीज ये पूछनी थी कि जो लेवल C का रजिस्ट्रेशन है वो ऑटोमेटिक कैंसिल हो जाएगा क्या अगर मैं 10th के लिए करती हूँ तो?
हाँ जी मैम, हाँ जी, तो पैरेलल रजिस्ट्रेशन हो सकती है, बिल्कुल कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं.
ओके. अच्छा, एक चीज और पूछनी मैम कि जो लेवल B का जो मुझे मार्कशीट है वो तो मैंने डाउनलोड किया, मगर वही सर्टिफिकेट है कि उसके अलावा भी कोई सर्टिफिकेट होता है? दैट इज द मार्कशीट एंड सर्टिफिकेट इटसेल्फ.
नो मैम, यू विल गेट अ फिजिकल सर्टिफिकेट ऑल्सो. अभी तो आपको नेट से तो सिर्फ मार्कशीट मिली होगी. आपको एक प्रॉपर सर्टिफिकेट आएगा. मैं एकम का दिखाऊं आपको? एक प्रॉपर NIOS का सर्टिफिकेट आएगा. वो आपको
तो मैं
स्टडी सेंटर से कनेक्ट करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ, वो स्टडी सेंटर एक्चुअली कैंसिल हो चुका है एंड दे आर नॉट रिस्पॉन्डिंग. दे आर नॉट एट ऑल रिस्पॉन्डिंग. मतलब वो NIOS भी उनको नोटिस भेज.
सॉरी मैम, आप कहाँ से हैं? वेयर आर यू फ्रॉम?
आई एम फ्रॉम पुणे. पुणे.
आपका रीजनल सेंटर पुणे में ही है. आप रीजनल सेंटर जाइए, आपको डुप्लीकेट मिल जाएगा बहुत इजीली.
ओके, डुप्लीकेट फिजिकल कॉपी फ्रॉम दैट सेंटर ओनली.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. बट जो आपने डाउनलोड किया है वो सिर्फ मार्कशीट है. यू विल
Yes,
एक्चुअली
ma'am.
गेट अ
Yes,
फिजिकल
ma'am.
सर्टिफिकेट आल्सो.
And
होना
because
चाहिए.
that
बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
center
बच्चों को बहुत
has
अच्छा
become
लगता है.
yes ma'am, that center has become so unfriendly और वो बिल्कुल ही नहीं, मतलब they are not picking up the phone and even from the director of the regional center they are not responding anything. So
Ma'am, like I said,
मैं बस
there are lot of inactive study centers. आपके तो पुणे में तो मैं आपको नाम भी बता सकती हूँ कौन कौन है. आप
जी
जाइए, दे वेरी हेल्पफुल. दे जस्ट, आप घर से ही एप्लीकेशन लिख के ले जाना कि द
जी
सर्टिफिकेट वाज नॉट इशूड बाय द स्टडी सेंटर, प्लीज इशू इट टू अस.
जी.
विदिन 2 weeks, within 14 वर्किंग डेज आपके घर पे आ
Okay.
जाता है वो.
Oh, that's thank you ma'am. Can you tell me the name और आप बताएंगे क्या
मिस्टर
नेम
साहा
पुणे के?
है, मिस्टर साहा है. जोशुआ आता है, मैं अभी बताती हूँ. मेरा सेव्ड है मेरे फोन पे. आई एम अश्योरिंग यू मैम, अ वेरी हेल्पफुल सेट.
ओके ओके.
और
सो
आपको पुणे में ही है.
ओके ओके, तो मैं डायरेक्टली उसको अभी सेकेंडरी के लिए मैं उसको एनरोल करा देती हूँ
जी,
because level C में ऑलरेडी तो 2 साल चले गए हैं उसके and he will be
No
receiving UDID certificate within a month or 2.
मैम, लाइक आई सेड अर्लियर, 10th एंड 12th के लिए तो आपके पास UDID होना चाहिए.
Yes ma'am.
OBE
Even
करना
level
चाहिए.
C also. Level C के लिए भी उन्होंने मांगा था. सिम्बायोसिस में था उसका.
स्टडी,
So
हाँ,
he was not able.
सिम्बायोसिस 100% मांग रहे हैं मैम.
हाँ.
In
And
fact, they are
UDID
doing
takes a lot of time. UDID takes a
symbiosis
lot of
is
time.
not, yeah, they're not doing a very good job. Shivani ji, like I've been mentioning, the study centers have complete autonomy. So
Yeah.
they can give as much as they want and they
Yeah.
can withhold as much as they want.
Yeah.
And more often than not, unfortunately, they're withholding.
It's very unfortunate.
Because at 10th and 12th, the primary reason here is, and 10th and 12th, you have these special study centers. They call the SAID centers. At OBE levels, you don't have them. So most of the study, 99% of the study centers will be normal schools
Yeah,
who
yeah.
do not have an understanding of disability, who do not understand the challenges. So
Hmm.
when you don't understand something, you tend to lash out. That's
Correct.
what's happening in most places.
Correct, correct. Okay. We have a lot of questions on the chat box. Riddhi, do you want to take
Yes.
them? I know we are
Sure.
also very close to the time. So just
Correct.
Because
we'll-
as always, I
yeah,
overextended.
we'll go through the questions on the chat first, then we'll go through all the parents who have raised their hands
Yes.
so patiently and they're waiting. Thank you so much. We'll
Thank
come
you
to
so
you
much,
for sure.
parents. Yes,
We'll
thank
come
you
to
so
you.
much. We will
Yes.
come to you. We will do few questions from the chat and then allow one of the parents to ask the question. So the next question is, how many attempts can be given for the same level?
Sorry, ma'am, your voice broke. What?
I asked how many attempts can be given for the same level.
Okay, so the confusion here is because of the disparity between the academic and the OBE. 10th and 12th पे आप सबने सुना होगा, exams happen twice a year. There are two public exams, April and October. The OBE program is only a 7-month program. It's supposed to start in July and finish absolutely before the 28th of Feb. So you have 5 attempts. Every registration in NIOS is valid for 5 years. So at OBE, you have 4 attempts, sorry. The first exam is only after 1 year of study. It's 4 attempts.
Okay.
Okay. One more
Ma'am,
question
can you just
from,
this again? Sorry. Can you just repeat this again?
yes, Aditi, a
It's
parent
bit
wants
simple.
this to be
OBE में
understood
4
again.
attempts है. Okay, ma'am, I think I unnecessarily confused by bringing an academic. At OBE, 4 attempts are possible. The exams happen only in February. So suppose you take admission right now, your first exam will be in February 25. And if you do not want to take all 4 or 5 exams, एक साथ आपको नहीं देने. If you take, let's say, 3 exams in February 25, you will be giving the rest 2 in February 26.
Okay, understood.
Somebody
Yeah.
who's taking admission right now will be allowed to take exams in February 25, 26, 27, and 28.
Okay.
I hope that clarifies for all the parents. The other question is from Mrs. Rimi, who is asking that her son is a non-verbal child. Do you think he'll be able to study through an NIOS? So from what I understand, non-verbal है तो कुछ oral ऐसा कुछ exams होता है.
Yes, Sridhi,
Sorry.
this is what actually ma'am clarified, that yes, there are exams for non-verbal. There are some oral exams at OBE level, and obviously children are allowed to use devices. They can use AWAs, they can use other assistive technology. So if the child who is non-verbal but still able to use some other device, so I'm 100% sure he can be appearing for the exam.
There would be 2 riders to this answer. One would be, again, everything boils down to the center has complete autonomy. So, they can help you as much as and as little as possible. Secondly, the provisions that are given by, hardened. See, what happens in 10th and 12th is, you want to become a scribe, you write an application, you go to the regional center, they give you a written letter which you take to the study center, and you tell them, NIOS regional center has given me permission to use a computer. Now at the OBE level, there is no such process. The application is given to the study center only, who then are at full liberty to reject it. And most study centers are normal schools. They will generally एक बहुत common bias होता है कि अगर हम किसी एक बच्चे को या 2 बच्चों को हम कंप्यूटर यूज करने देंगे, so हम बाकी के हमारे पेरेंट्स ऑब्जेक्ट करने लग जाएंगे. This is just an excuse. My experience has been that the moment the other parents are explained that this is a child on the spectrum, or he has a physical disability, we've done this in so many centers. When we realize that the center is going to create problems, we, as a couple of parents will stand with the parent, and we generally start talking to the parents who are standing outside the gate. Would it be okay with you? We have a special needs child. Would it be okay if he took the computer? And most of them will say, ma'am, is it okay if he sits in the other room so that my son doesn't see? The worst they will say is, please alag kamre mein bitha dijiye. But I'd say at least 80% of them agree. But the school will not agree. So I'm sorry, the riders are there. But yes, they're allowed. NIOS allows them to use any mode of communication as long as they communicate.
Correct. Okay.
Riddhi, should we take the parent questions now? We have 3 and then we can wrap up the session.
Sure.
Have we answered the chat questions?
No, there are many yet left, but we could have one of the parents ask the question. So, Vinay/Lucky, do you want to just unmute yourself and ask the question? Yes.
हाँ जी नमस्कार. Thank you so much. In my life I'm doctor and first time मैंने देखा कि free webinar इतना effective भी हो सकता है.
Thank you so much.
That's a very good compliment. Thank you so much.
I know
Thank
it
you,
is, yeah.
Ms.Jaspreet. I think it all
नहीं
goes to
देखा
you.
है. और हमने भी इतना effective कभी नहीं किया करवाया. So
Thank you so much.
मैम ये मुझे कहना था, अभी मैं 3 दिन से NIOS में आई हूँ, तो मेरा बेटा 13+ है. मैं गुड़गांव में रहती हूँ एंड मे बी 5-7 डेज पहले मैंने आपके बारे में सुना एंड सडनली मेरे को वो आपका व्हाट्सएप ये आ गया कि आपका कुछ होने जा रहा. सो माय क्वेश्चन
कौन से स्कूल में है मैम? कौन से स्कूल में है?
DAV स्पेशल विंग, बट आई एम नॉट सेटिस्फाइड. सो मैं क्या करने जा रही हूँ कि उसका उन्होंने क्या रखा है ना कि वो ग्रेड 5 तक उसने IB में उसने स्कूलिंग करी है एंड देन 2 साल पहले मैंने सोचा स्पेशल में उसकी बुक्स एम्प्टी आती थी, नोटबुक्स. सो उसके बाद मैंने यहाँ पर उन्होंने ग्रेड 4 में कर दिया एंड कुछ उस तरह का. तो मैं चाहती थी कि मतलब हाँ एज के अकॉर्डिंग उसके 10th हो जाए. उसका IQ 79, 2 साल पहले मैंने डिपमेंट में करवाया था नोएडा में, तो वहां पर 79 था 2-3 साल पहले. सो ही इज एक्सप्रेसिव. मैं ये जानना चाह रही थी कि मैंने NIOS का स्टार्ट करवाया है यहाँ पे, बट मुझे ये कहना था मैम कि आपसे मैं कनेक्ट कैसे हो सकती हूँ. मुझे अपॉइंटमेंट चाहिए नोएडा आने के लिए, आपके सेंटर आने के लिए. मुझे
मैं इंडिया की प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं हूँ. प्लीज आप मुझे शाम को फोन कर लेना, कल कभी भी फोन कर लेना.
I tried calling you I think 2 to 3 times and I'm sorry to say ringing आती है. तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि वो नंबर एग्जिस्ट भी करता है कि नहीं, आई डोंट नो. बट मुझे आपके बहुत क्लोज वन ने मुझे वो नंबर दिया है, बट इट इज नॉट वर्किंग.
टुमारो मॉर्निंग 8 पक्का. इनफैक्ट आपसे मैंने इसीलिए स्कूल पूछा क्योंकि गुड़गांव के 3-4 स्कूल्स कल ही आने वाले हैं, एक साथ मिल के आ रहे हैं वो. The point what is happening, Bhavna, is that we're giving the books, then we're giving the worksheets, we're giving the sample question papers.
करिकुलम और आपका सेंटर है 10th का आपके यहाँ?
जी मैम 10th का भी है. So and then we're checking the question papers. है मैम?
है. Oh, that's great.
आपने जैसे कल आपका हेरिटेज और HDFC स्कूल कल 2 आ रहे हैं. So what is happening is a lot of centers are rising to the knowledge कि हमें तो कुछ नहीं करना पड़ेगा. So what we say is we are just an online school, na? So the students study in these schools, but they enroll with NIOS, and then the school starts teaching art books. So बच्चे भी खुश, स्कूल भी खुश. आप भी ऐसे ही कर लेना. कल सुबह 8 बजे प्रॉमिस I'll pick up.
अच्छा ये नंबर आपका एक लास्ट का एक नंबर बताती हूँ, आप ये बता दो सही नंबर है कि नहीं. आई एम नॉट
सॉरी, हम मैम का नंबर ग्रुप में डाल दे रहे हैं, अभी ग्रुप चैट में मिल जाएगा आपको.
लास्ट
85 है. हाँ जी. या उनका ईमेल आईडी और फोन नंबर दोनों भी डाल देंगे. तो आप वहां से प्लीज डायरेक्टली गेट इन टच विद देम इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ टाइम. ओके, देयर इज दिस क्वेश्चन व्हिच हैज बीन आस्क्ड बाय वेरियस पेरेंट्स. सो कैन आई डायरेक्टली गिव लेवल C एग्जाम विदाउट गिविंग लेवल A and level B?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can. Okay, anyone can give this exam, even kids without disability? This is one question asked.
Absolutely. It was meant for people without disability. NIOS was made for children who for some reason had dropped out of the traditional system. Social dropouts के लिए ही बना था. Special बच्चों ने तो अभी 8 साल पहले यूज करना शुरू किया.
Okay, great. The other question is for level C. Can we take 2 language and 2 academics and 1 vocational?
Ma'am, level C, 1 compulsory language, 1 compulsory pre-vocational. And then 3 optional subjects. The 5 subjects, 1 language compulsory, 1 pre-vocational compulsory. Pre-vocational depend करेगा आपका स्टडी सेंटर कौन सा ऑफर कर रहा है. फॉर अगर एग्जांपल हमारे पास सिर्फ बेकरी और फूड प्रोसेसिंग है. अगर आपको टॉय मेकिंग लेना है तो हमारे सेंटर को आप चूज नहीं कर सकते. सो 1 इंग्लिश, 1 बेकरी एंड बाकी के 3 ऑप्शनल हैं. What we are offering is computers, home science, and painting.
Ma'am,
Is there-
I only asked that question.
Okay. yes.
Actually, you are telling it's like 3 optional subjects. In the 3 optional subjects, can I choose another language also from the group 1
Absolutely.
or
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
or
ma'am.
on-
Yes, ma'am,
only
you can.
okay?
You can choose
that
another
is only
language.
okay. The optional subject I can choose from language also, other language
Yes,
also.
yes, ma'am. Yes. You can choose a minimum of 1 or maximum of 2 languages, not more than that.
Okay, I have one more question, ma'am. Just if my daughter is now 12 years older, so now I wanted to register her in level C, OBE level C. So through your school, so if I registered through your school, then how can she attend the exam for level C? Because I am located in different city. I am from
Ma'am,
Hyderabad. So how can she attend?
So there's several students from Hyderabad. I'll connect you with parents. So Hyderabad,
Okay.
Bangalore, Pune. Ma'am, the exams are online. Their exams are also
Exams
online.
are
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
And there's
Ma'am,
this
I
group,
I sent
there's this
I
center
sent
called
a
Awam.
message long back. Hello.
Okay, now I'm feeling really embarrassed. Everybody's saying that. Ma'am, please send it again. Maybe it got missed.
Yeah, I sent a message long back, but you didn't reply me. So
What's
that's
your name,
why
ma'am?
I will.
What's your name?
Anuradha.
Please send it one more time. This time I will definitely
Okay.
respond.
Sure. Yeah. Okay,
Yes,
I will
yes,
send the
ma'am.
Don't
message. I
worry,
will call you.
Ms. We understand.
This
Thank
is
you,
very
ma'am.
embarrassing.
Jaspreet,
But
that
that's
just
okay.
shows how popular you are.
Yes.
Don't feel bad.
No, that
That just shows how good you are,
unorganized I am.
how good you are, how much you're helping parents, and everybody thanks you for that. So don't feel bad. Contact
But I
them.
am a bit unorganized. Yes, too much on my plate. Yes.
That's totally
Yes, ma'am.
fine.
Anything else?
We will help you with the parents, whoever have not yet gotten in touch with, we'll try connecting it through us. Okay,
Thank you.
one question we have is, where can we get a list of study centers of our city? So is there a website that we can go to?
Absolutely. One, when you start filling in the form, the moment you put in your correspondence address, the study centers in your city will automatically be listed. But if you want to check this beforehand, before you enter the form, there is a link. Google search में आप NIOS study center डाल दीजिए, वो अपने आप वहाँ पहुँच जाएगा.
Great.
But there is a link. It'll take you to a small form where you put in your city's name, and it'll show you the study centers in that city.
That's great. Thank you so much for that information. What is the minimum age for 10th in NIOS?
14.
14 years. Okay, almost similar to all the other curriculums or boards. Many parents have said that it was a very informative, session. I can just see it in the comments that I'm reading right now. Can ADHD children also apply for NIOS?
Absolutely. Anybody and everybody can.
Okay. One question from Dr. Bhulakshmi, is study
Can I
center
just add something
mandatory?
here? I'm sorry, I'm taking too much of time.
No problem.
One, adaptation that I've seen that really, really helps ADHD students sit for the exam is you can ask for the child to sit on the balance ball and take the exam. We found it very, very effective. So अगर आप स्कूल को सिर्फ ये रिक्वेस्ट करें कि चेयर हटा के उन्हें बॉल पे देने दीजिए एग्जाम and you have the child practice. I'm sorry, this is one thing that I found very effective with ADHD children.
Yeah, I think this is a very good suggestion. We ourselves use this as an accommodation in our practices. So I think that's a very good suggestion that you've given. Is study center mandatory to give NIOS exam? I think so, right?
आप एग्जाम कहाँ दोगे? NIOS तो
We
ओपन
will
बोर्ड है,
need it.
डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन है, कहीं जाके एग्जाम तो देना पड़ेगा. You have to select 3 study centers. That's what happens in the form, but you don't have to worry about it because you always get the first one. But
Correct.
you have to choose a study center.
Yes. Can parents prescribe prompters?
Yes,
for
absolutely.
exams? Okay.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay. Are we doing separate behavior and remedial therapy? Yes, we are at Saamarthya. One of the questions that we've got from YouTube is, if the child has different nationality but resides in India, will she be allowed to attempt NIOS?
And different nationality.
Only some countries, I think.
They have a tie-up with some countries. Can this person specifically get in touch with me? बाकी सबका time waste हो जाएगा. But
Sure.
yes,
Nidish,
we've had Indonesian and there's several Kuwait. There are a lot of countries they have a tie-up with. These nationals, if their parents are based in India, they're expats or even they're in the embassies and all, they're allowed to.
yeah, that's a good question. Nidishi, please get in touch with Mrs. Jaspreet and she can help us with this. I just realized there is Mr. Joshua sitting next to you while you are answering. Mr. Joshua, hi, thank you so much for helping us out with this.
He's been here throughout.
Yeah, I think your background is blurred.
Thank
Now
you.
we can see.
Yes.
Hi.
And
Thank you
please,
so much.
parents are asking, please post if you can post your email ID in the chat box so that
Absolutely.
everybody can have access to your information. Please do that.
Absolutely.
I think we can take the last question from Aditi, one parent who's waiting very, very patiently in the waiting area. Aditi,
Actually,
please.
the reason I'm blurring is I had to do it from my bedroom today for some logistical reasons. That's why I'm blurring it again and again. These are things done by my daughters. Artwork done by them. Both of them.
Lovely. So lovely. Yes.
Yeah, please.
Aditi, has your question been answered or you can go ahead? I think this will be the last question we'll take, Riddhi. Yeah?
Yeah. Partial question was answered.
Sure,
Can you suggest which study center in Pune? First question, because this is our first time entering it. Earlier, he used to study in HDFC school, Pune, and he's still in the same school, but they have asked us to register for NIOS. And he's 12 years old. So can you suggest some nice study center from where we can register for him? I have already registered actually. The only thing is I didn't know about this study center is so important.
Ma'am, I actually did not understand very well. You are in HDFC school in Pune and you registered for the OBE levels, ma'am?
Yeah, OBE level A, ma'am. He is still not very verbal, but he understands few things. We have just got his disability certificate. With intellectual level is as 25% and he is autistic.
I could suggest 3 steps. Pune mein nahi hai na koi? Pune mein nahi hai na? Someday, okay, there's a couple of people, ma'am, we'll check with them. So one, you simply Google search NIOS Study Center. Small form will open. Put in your exact address in Pune. It'll show you the surrounding study centers. I have somebody, now over the last 1 year, we made some very good friends and very good associates in all over the city. I think, ma'am, Pune में एक symbiosis ही है जहाँ तक मुझे पता है. And they're not very, very cooperative. आप खुद check कीजिए, send me a hi, I'll check with this Sujata Mehta there, I'll check with her. And or else, you could join us. आपका स्कूल बहुत खुश हो जाएगा क्योंकि उनको किताबें मिल जाएंगी, उनको कोई काम नहीं करना पड़ेगा.
Yes, actually स्कूल वालों ने आपका नंबर दिया है. मतलब they asked us to join this webinar today itself, and they told like, so is it possible to join?
What is happening? Shivani, you know what is happening we've realized over the last 10-15 days. Schools are being aware of the fact that we have books.
Yeah.
So now not being approached by individuals, being approached by schools. कि हमारे पास बच्चे हैं, you know, in fact a very good friend in one of these schools has told me, हमारा काम खत्म हो जाता है. And the one better thing she said was, we are able to actually concentrate on work that the child actually needs.
Right.
And not waste time on academics.
And a point of clarification, Jaspreet,
ma'am, 1 second.
Sorry, go ahead.
HDFC school Pune जो है ना, my child is the first kid who has been asked to do the OBE, this NIOS thing. Actually, he was first special kid of the HDFC school. तो वो लोग है ना, मतलब like last year बहुत ज्यादा mandatory कर दिया था इन लोगों ने shadowing हटाने का. तो फिर क्या हुआ, फिर जो principal ma'am है, she is very much supportive. So she told कि let's start this NIOS thing, and that's what it's happened. So he's the only child who is doing NIOS from HDFC school, but obviously they don't have the affiliation for that.
Ma'am, आपका HDFC गुड़गांव हमारी books use कर रहा है. Is there are you related?
नहीं, we are from Pune HDFC, और यहाँ पे मेरा जो बच्चा है, he is the first child, जो only child है जो NIOS कर रहा है. तो इसीलिए मैं ही पहली पेरेंट हूँ. हाँ, मैं ही पहली पेरेंट हूँ. So that's why they have asked me to do everything.
Hi,
Um,
Shivanya.
can-
As we are coming to the end of this session, may I take the opportunity of reiterating the program which we are soon going to start for
Yeah.
NIOS?
Yes,
Make it.
absolutely. I was just going to say, one is what Bhavna mentioned. We are starting this UDAN program where we want to support children who are going through NIOS open schooling with one-on-one intervention sessions, group intervention sessions. But in addition, I want to say to all the parents who are here from Pune, who are asking all these questions, who are struggling, I would love an opportunity to do a Zoom call with all of you to see how might we problem solve this. And we can also take Jaspreet's help in figuring this out, because it seems like this is a very big and a very real problem. And Saamarthya, being that we have just opened our center, a family resource center in Baner, our mission is exactly this. How can we help the parent community navigate the challenges that they are facing? It is a family resource center. It's not a child development center, though we offer we offer special education, we offer occupational therapy, we offer physiotherapy, but our mission is to support you all in terms of what are the resources you need. And so I'm hearing so much from Pune people about not having a study center, having, challenges with that. If you all are open to this idea, let's get together on a Zoom call, or you can come to our center, visit with us in July. We can plan a meeting. Let's sit down and figure out what solutions can we create, and Jaspreet can really help us, problem solve and think it through, because I have spoken to her before. And I know this is her life's mission, is to support families. So, right, Jaspreet, we can figure out.
In short, I would like to take suggest like to take one step further. आप study center बन जाओ.
I was just going to say, this is actually, this is our vision. We just haven't yet figured out the how, but just so all
Joshua
the
will help
parents
you.
know.
He's been filling the forms for a lot of centers. We'll fill the
Wonderful.
forms for you, and we'll bat for you at the head office. And
We can collaborate together and figure out a solution for Pune specific parents. This is one of our very, very big mission areas. Is if you're struggling in a particular area, come to us and we want to problem solve with you, because I know these challenges are big. And it's very unfortunate, all the things that you've been saying, Jaspreet, like about, study centers having a complete autonomy, they're not supporting, they're not like working with parents. And for us at Saamarthya, as a team, we have been talking about how do we support families, which is why one of our first steps is that UDAN program, where we start with at least the one-on-one individual support, small group support, but with a bigger vision of becoming a study center. So I just want all the parents in Pune to know this. We are working very hard towards figuring out different ways to support you. Yeah.
And I would like to just add one more thing here about the UDAN program. What really blows me off by Jaspreet's plan कि उन्होंने curriculum को कितने अच्छे से ढाला, which is the basic need of NIOS. And another angle to it is that what we are doing at Saamarthya, we are all the parents who are hearing us. And I'll request Riddhi if she can share the registration form in the chat box. We are starting an online support program only for senior secondary and secondary NIOS school students. We are starting with secondary and senior secondary. Obviously, we'll come down to the OBE level. But in the senior secondary and secondary school program, we are not yet the study center, but yes, we can always help you to design a kind of curriculum which is not only aligned with NIOS and the National Education Policy, but also with the future higher education as well as the job opportunities. Being a person who has worked in universities like Ashoka, which deals with the neurodiverse students, higher education thing, and Bangalore-based Enable India, which is working with the vocational training, there is a huge gap when our children come out in the grade 12th, after the grade 12th. उनको ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा होता अब आगे क्या करें, अब ग्रेजुएशन के लिए जाएं या अब वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग के लिए जाएं. They want to do, but unfortunately, everybody does not get a center like Jaspreet's center, because these centers do not work on their skills. So हम जो ये उड़ान जो it's a pilot program which we are, and the seats are very limited. There we will take up students we will help them. We will help them to pass on the curriculum and the examination of senior secondary and secondary exams, also align their skills for future jobs, also gain skills which will be helpful to qualify for a post school study or pick up vocational trainings. So and it will be a counseling, it will be a behavior management also. So it will be a consolidated solution, and it will be a full-fledgedly online program to start with. As Shivani said, slowly we'll get into the physical mode also. So all the students who have children appearing for senior secondary grade 10 or grade 12 exams, or they have just enrolled, they want any support, online studies support across subjects and across behavioral support and professional skills, please register for this program. The registration link is shared with you in the chat box. We will choose the only qualification or only skill which is required, that the student should be able to sit in an online exam, online class, and be able to take instruction and do the thing. But we will try to create a course which is very much doable, which is very much aligned with the future skills. So we welcome, this is the first humble, try from in the leadership of Shivani from Saamarthya. Anybody who is willing to enroll their child for this program, I request them to use this registration link.
Thank you so much, Bhavna. And one more thing I want to say, somebody's asking when is the next session. So Jaspreet is going to be back next week with the NIOS for senior secondary. The following Friday, we have someone from Ashoka University talking about NIOS and higher education. And the last session in the series of this one is going to be NIOS and vocational avenues by Shalu Sharma from Evaluator. So we have 3 excellent webinars lined up. Parents, all of you, please join back. Even if you have a young child right now, even if your child is in elementary school or middle school, come for the next session so that you can be prepared for what's to come next in NIOS with Jaspreet, and then higher education, and then vocational. So definitely come back for all the sessions, and I hope to see all of you there. Yeah.
Me
and
too.
with that,
I'll definitely be there. Both the people coming are exemplary.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, I think we can wrap up. Thank you so much, Jaspreet, also for going over time, like literally 30 minutes. Appreciate your time so much. And to each and every one of the parents sitting here, waiting, spending your Friday evening with us, learning, you all inspire me every single time. I know it's tough, and I know you are all busy family people, and giving 3 hours almost on a Friday evening is quite something. So my gratitude to each one of you. I hope to see all of you next week. You're all in our WhatsApp group, so you'll get the link there of the next session. The time is going to be same, Friday 6 to 8 p.m. And I hope to see you all there, and have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, parents.
Bye-bye. Have a good
Hope to
night.
see you all soon. Bye-bye.